So yeah, after your own series now, tabben against theonlybaus, another round of 8 series, and yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty surprised by how far theonlybaus has made it. I mean, always thought he was a good player, but he's taken down Ace and Prince, right, which is pretty impressive. So it's gonna be interesting to see how well he plays against tabben now, who is a former LAN tournament player, you know, who hasn't really played so much recently. I'm not sure how in shape he is, but it should be an interesting match.
Yeah, it's definitely been an impressive run from theonlybaus this tournament. I think the best he's probably done in terms of just like the level of his opponents that he's beaten. Um, as for tabben, I actually think tabben is in pretty good shape at the moment. Like I've been playing a lot of quick search over the last couple of weeks just to like get in shape for the tournament, and I think like I have a pretty bad win rate against tabben. So he's quite good at the moment as well. So I'm interested to see how this series plays out for sure.
To be fair, you somehow always have like a bad quick search win rate against everyone, right? And then you
Yeah,
just win in
I think
tournaments.
everyone, yeah.
But then you win tourneys, so yeah, well. Anyway, we do have France against India here. I believe, well, before I start talking about the matchup, we have to say that boss players got 100 food, which is a pretty huge treasure. But yeah, boss of them got one of it, so interesting. And yeah, I wanted to say that I think France is. Wait, I'm gonna have to change the scroll speed. Yeah, I think France is boss main civ. I'm pretty sure. He's a former vanilla player, so he loves his vanilla civs, and especially France, I think.
Yeah, France and Russia, I think, are the
Yeah,
two he plays the most.
and
And
he had that food treasure right in base. Because of the UI and stuff, I couldn't quite follow what happened really early, but I think he could have, if he saw that treasure here, he could have gone for a 12-10, like crack shot one of them, go take your TP, come back and take it, and with that food you should be able to 12-10 pretty well. But maybe he just didn't have it in line of sight. He might be able to go for a 13 jab, but with a bit of idle time. Nicely spotting the Agrafort though, not able to block it, but he does spot it, so that's good for him.
yep, tells him that he should definitely be aware of some kind of aggression. Yeah, I mean, I think like yeah, he probably could have gone for a 12-10 this time, but I don't think he'll be upset about 14 vils. Like India is usually a bit of a slower civ as well, and France I don't think has to worry too much about 13 vils. Doesn't have to worry too much about like losing CDBs to early pressure and stuff. So
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's just
one
that
thing
you
that's
usually get a good XP, and if you also have 100 food, it should be a pretty smooth 12-10, but it's by no means like a must. You know, you can also go 13 like that. Oh, he's blowing up. And, well, boss players idled a little bit to age up earlier, so tabben didn't quite get... I mean, he had to cut some veal production when aging up, so I think their boss be up rather fast. Of course, France will be up before India, but... and India might spot that wall. Okay, boss is not building it just yet. He waits until the elephant is away, so that's pretty smart from him, and now he's gonna build the wall.
yep, good little denial of scouting there. The one thing that's really annoying about this Agrafort location for France is like it's right next to his trading post. Like
Yeah.
he's not going to be able to defend that. It's not really going to stall like tabben's push very much to siege that. And when you're trying to go fortress, which I think you usually want to do with France in this matchup, it's really annoying to lose that TP.
Yeah, definitely. If boss is a bit cheeky, I think he could maybe drop at some point a second TP, like from 700 wood. He will get that card pretty early, and dropping another TP here makes it kind of annoying for India to like go siege this one and that one without being able to actually pressure your base. So maybe boss can consider dropping that a bit later. But anyway, for the time being, he's just scouting what's going on in India's base, and he's not gonna find a whole lot, right? He doesn't see that consulate. It does look like a consulate rush, so it's kind of something you have to scout, right? Like, it's very scary if you don't see it coming.
Yeah, but if he's paying attention, I mean, like you're saying, he's seeing a lot of nothing, and maybe it's the lack of stuff that is going to give him information in this game. Like, normally you'd expect to see, like, houses and a market and stuff like that in the base, but there's just nothing there. There's no TP on the map, so he's got to be aware that there's something going on, at least.
Yeah, he should guess that it's gonna be pretty aggressive. No market, no TP. It smells like either a Sepoy rush or consulate rush. But yeah, always nice to like pull that native scout a little bit further forward and try and figure out if there's a consulate, because you kind of need to know if it's a consulate rush or a Sepoy rush. And he's just going 700 coin, and that's very risky, I think. He does have that small wall, but kind of no units behind. Especially these are musketeers, so they don't have more range than sepoys, so they can't really prevent India from sieging that wall down. If it were 5 bows, maybe they could do something, but either way, it's going to be a lot of units for that timing by tabben, and well, not that many units. I think you're supposed to have more than this. He does have it a little bit earlier than usual, but it's only 10 sepoys.
I think he's just missing 2 sepoy, I think, on one of his batches. But it's possibly going to be enough. I mean, like, the only boss doesn't have food to age here, and he didn't have any units in queue, although he could probably just call Minutemen, but the wall's going to stall for quite a while, buy him a good, like, 20 seconds or more, and that's definitely going to help him get a defense together. Doing some good pokes with the muskets.
Yeah. It was looking scary, but he only lost one musk for 1 sepoy and half.
Almost 2 sepoy, yeah.
Yeah, gonna finish it with his native scout, actually. But yeah, now Minutemen popping and CDBs as well, but...
That's the first time a native scout has ever 1v1 to sepoy in the history of the game.
Right, and won as well, so... But, yeah, but it's gonna go down, fortunately. But yeah, I mean... It's a hold for boss, but I think that was overall pretty good for tabben, even though he did commit to shipping 300 export without actually using it for villagers, so it's always like a bit of a trade-off for him. He's got a bit more units, but less eco. But you know, he's delayed the age up by a lot. I mean, boss even had time to ship 700 wood, and he's still not aging, you know? Been stacking all those resources, and now he's gonna age. And at the same time, tabben didn't quite commit to the timing too much, because he went for foreign logging after 300 export instead of the classic 5 sepoy shipment or 4 sour or something.
Right, but in this case, maybe like committing to like a 4 sour shipment would have been the right thing to do.
Yeah,
I mean, he didn't know like how little boss was committing to the defense, but it might actually have been slow enough that boss is going to get away with this this age up.
Yeah, right. His plan was interesting, you know, like sort of like going for a timing, maybe trying to push boss to ship 8 bows and stuff like that, while in fact tabben is going grid at the same time. But in fact, boss didn't overreact at all, and he's just aging, so he's just okay, right? And India is nowhere near aging. 1 CDB maybe gonna go down. Wait. Yeah, I don't think he's lost any veal there. Just lost his Minutemen, so no big deal. These veals are in great danger, but now he's aged, and there's not a whole lot of units sieging at the moment. He's idled, but he's fine, right? He's gonna hold, and India has to pull back quite soon, because there's gonna be a batch of skirms, a batch of guns from the shipment, and... oh, 1 CDB going down, though.
Yeah, this has been great, like defense from boss, just popping the vills out of the TC in between every volley, getting the extra DPS in.
Yeah, he did split nicely as well. He just lost 1 CDB, but that's basically the only mistake he's made so far. So pretty good defense, yeah. Oh, and tabben's gonna try to push in, but I think he should just pull back. I mean, there's 3 skirms, 5 goons, and all the CDBs.
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I almost wonder if he should have just finished off the barracks there, because it's gonna live with like 300 HP, and like Boss would have had a really hard time replacing that. Or maybe not. Actually, he's probably still floating some wood from his 700 wood, but either way, like it's not something you want to replace.
Right.
And I don't think the T-Boys really managed to kill any of those units.
They did snipe like 1 goon and maybe. Yeah.
Wait, is
1
Boss
goon.
shipping 1,000 wood behind that?
I hope not, but yeah, he is actually, and I mean he's still got a stable and a barracks and 2 almost 300 wood stacks. So I don't think he should ship 1,000 wood. I think he should go for just 8 skirms and train like goons and yeah, pretty standard stuff. But he decided to go for the grid, and because tabben is actually gonna timing again, like he's training Sawars and shipping Sawars. This might be a little bit dicey for the boss. I think he expects an age up now, but he might be caught off guard by the calf switch from India.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 1,000 wood is tough with France, because it's such a great shipment, but like with France, like what do you spend the wood on? Like you've already got 2 military buildings. He had, what is that villager?
Yeah, the HP is so bugged, but anyway.
I thought there was like a bill underground.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but anyway, he does snipe 1 bill there, so that's nice. But meanwhile, he's just got like no units at home almost. Might lose 1 CDB there. Nope, probably not.
Yeah, this is going to be tough to hold.
Well, at the same time, he's only gonna lose 3 skirms, so it's okay. But he doesn't have any more Minutemen. He doesn't. He needs like a batch of goons, like very badly here. Like, please, yeah, he does get that. So he's dropping a TC. So being very greedy, but he hasn't lost another CDB. I think I haven't seen him lose more CDBs, but there's just a bunch of units in his base, and it's looking tough. Then again, the lack of Gorkas is gonna be like really nice for the only boss, because like these goons are really hard to snipe with sepoys, and all boss needs is really like 5 skirms and or 6 skirms to one-shoot a sepoy, and then the goons to just snipe the Sawars, and he's kind of okay.
Yeah, and he's got a shipment. He can send the skirmishers.
Yeah, and he's
he is doing that. So like he will be able to hold this. Like as you say, like the lack of Gurkha here is really hurting. Hurting Tabben's ability to really deal with the goons here, and they're getting great value on these sepoys.
Yeah, kind of
even trying to just send the Sawars into snare, but I think this is exactly what Boss wants.
Yeah, well, nice value there, and I yeah, a bit over eager to go in here. I think India just doesn't have that many units left, and also the CDBs have been upgraded, which is really nice when you're going to fight like that. So they do quite a lot of damage. And now the skirms will pop, and I don't think there's enough Sawars to punish that. So the sepoys will go down. 1 CDB going down, but I mean, oh, Villa as well is maybe gonna go down.
Yeah, but he's got two TCs. These don't actually care, but if you lose these CDBs at this point,
although he's not really making bills because he's being pressured, but regardless. India is stuck in H2, and you can see by the scores now that France looks to be in a very nice position. I don't know what... Yeah, and tabben is completely committing to this H2 pressure now, sending another unit shipment. He still has Tiger close. Yeah?
I was just going to say, like, yeah, at this point, like, there's no way he's going to be able to get an age up in safely, right? So he's kind of stuck. His only hope is really that Boss just like can't get any resources, but little does he know that Boss has a town center securing an extra mine and a couple hunts that he could maybe herd in. So
yeah, so I think actually if India would age, he would be in an okay spot, because France with that second TC doesn't have a lot of tempo to push, right? And I don't think he could get this aggregate 4 down so easily. So maybe aging would be a nice gamble from India here, but he's gonna commit to pressuring. And yeah, France doesn't even need a lot of units, right? Like, no matter what, he's gonna get 3 kills. If you send the Sawars, he's gonna kill, like maybe trade 8 skirms for the Sawars, and he's gonna be happy about it, even if they die, right? So, H2 India is just not that good anymore, I think. Also because he doesn't have any upgrade in, so...
Yeah, and he's going to be able to kite this back to his town center, call Minutemen, maybe
Yep.
pop an extra ship to that location.
Use that 4 HP extra to snare as well, I think. So is that a 7 skirm shipment? Probably, yeah. Yeah, he sent 7 skirms. Maybe 4 goons would have actually been better here, or 3 queers would have cleaned up. But regardless, with Minutemen, I think Boss is going to be just fine too. Oh, a bit of an awkward positioning here. All the... Boss is getting cleaned up pretty badly, I think. I didn't expect that. But yeah, all the Sawas getting on top of the infantry and the goons running into the Gorkas and more Gorkas joining as well. Explorer was not quite tanking and snaring as it should have been, and yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what tabben wanted, but I mean, at the end of it, he's not really cleaning it up as much as he needs to.
Yeah, although tabben could ship 700 coin in H, maybe he's doing it with food because he needs hunts quite badly. But the point is that right now India has 2 wood trickles, so he's at like almost 50 views. He has great market upgrades as well. I think I saw him research Imperial bureaucracy, and despite having 2 TCs, you see Boss is not quite training bills, and he's at only 30 CDBs, so he's probably like 10 bills behind. So Boss is kind of on a timer, I think. Even if he's got 2 TCs, I think he's on a timer. Because if India can age up, then he's just going to drop a TC as well and just going to be ahead. So he's going to try to push soon with 8 queers, and wow, no anti-cap for tabben here.
Yeah, those 8 cures are gonna come in like really nicely timed, and yeah, I mean, unless tabben gets out some Zambrax or Sepoys, he's potentially in a lot of trouble here, and all his villagers are really exposed as well. Like even though those cures just tried to go raid, like they'd get tons of work done.
Yeah, he really needs the 3-unit composition. Like, especially when you're playing H2 against H3, you really need to, like, abuse the fact that India does have goons and skirms in H2, that they have nice camel upgrades, which he's sending now. So yeah, he does need, like, at least 10 Zams here, if not more. But he's going for some Sepoy instead, which are just not that great against queers and skirms, right? So... And he's got only 4 of them. It's looking very scary here.
Yeah, definitely looking great for the only boss at this point. Like tabben just needs kind of like a miracle fight, and then maybe he can like try and deny the hunts, and that's kind of like his win condition at this point. But it's going to be tough. Like bosses also start walling the left, like trying to make sure that hunt is super secure. But here we go. He's got a lot of Soars. He's going to be trying to go in. But
yeah, and
maybe just a little bit too concerned about the cuirassiers, so we're going to wait a little bit longer for the red coats and the extra Sepoy batch.
Yeah, and the Sawo batch. So he's going to get a nice timing, and I think he might want to fight then. But, you know, Sawos, like, if you have to send your Sawos forward without any DPS behind, because, like, if you have Zembrax behind, then you can actually send your Sawos, and the Zembrax will take care of the queers. But now if you try to take a fight with just, like, this mass of Sawos, and a few Sepoys in the back, you're not going to be able to kill these queers very quickly. And then the goons are just going to tear through your Sawas, I think. Like, it's a lot of cav at the same time, and they do have the attack upgrade, but they're still, like, not good against queers and stuff, so... I'm curious to see how this goes. He's adding more, some Zembrak now, so that's nice. And it's a pretty close game, I mean... France is probably ahead just because he's going to have Cav Combat and a second TC, and he's still got some hunts, but it's definitely a game. I think whoever wins next fight is going to be in a great spot. And it could go either way.
Yes.
Like, Boss is just not getting very many units at the moment. Partly because of that second TC.
Well, I think all of the resources in his main base ran out and he had to move all of his villagers, so he didn't really have a lot of income for a while.
Yeah, he didn't want to quite take that hunt there. So he had to move everything to the left side. And yeah, there's just more units for India, right? I mean, he's if you look at the pop space, at the pop military pop, I think, well, it's not very accurate, but he does have more stuff. And getting
Yeah,
this upgrade as well.
yeah. Tabben's patience is definitely paying off here. Like he's got a very scary army now. Um, but I mean, those are years with Cav Combat coming in, so
Yeah,
it's gonna be a pretty close fight. Just looking at the militaries right now, but I'd say like if the fight goes even, like the only boss is probably gonna be pretty happy about that.
yeah, for sure. Like if India doesn't age, which he isn't trying to, France is just gonna get more and more ahead. He's not. I wouldn't say France is ahead now, but yeah, if they trade evenly, he's definitely gonna get more and more ahead. Um, Nice to see this native scout is still alive at 20 minutes and getting still a lot of information.
I think that's a new native scout because the other one died, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He got one from some treasure somewhere, right?
Maybe this one will also kill a sepoy.
Or two sepoys, who knows?
Yeah, one up the other scout.
Yeah.
Yeah, that scout's really useful at the moment, just spotting out the entire army. The two monks for Tabben are still dead in the back of boss's base, so
Yeah.
he's totally safe to do whatever he wants with them,
And
or whatever he wants with the scout. I mean,
it's especially nice. Oh, but
so
that's
many
oh
cures.
no, this game. I'm not sure about this. I mean, so many clears, but not a very good positioning for boss. But did you see like 5 Star Wars die at once? They're just utter crap against clears. But I don't know. The sepoys are also in melee, and I think this is a cleanup for Tabben. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
it
still
looks
so
like
many
it.
clears here. It's
close. It's close. It was great positioning for Tabben, but these
yeah.
units are just so strong from France at this point.
Right, yeah, it's. I think it was still a cost-efficient trade for France. Like you see so many units dying there. Like France didn't trade badly, so I think he's happy about it. He didn't quite win the fight, but he got a good trade, and now still taking good trades here. With Skriers attacking the Gorkhas and Star Wars getting sniped, and at the end of the day, you know, France is still making vills from 2 TCs. He's still got a 2 Falcon achievements. But by the way, he could have maybe waited for the 2 Falks to push, right? Like, Falks behind so many queers would be extremely hard for India to kill. While now, the Falks are going to be a little bit exposed because there aren't many units to defend them. That being said, he will get 5 queers out with Scarf Combat, so that's maybe enough.
Right.
France...
But yeah,
Yeah,
I think Boss has to be happy about that fight. Like,
yeah.
it was a really close fight, but yeah, I think like it was a pretty even fight at the end of the day, and that's just good for France because if Tabben wants to stay ahead or stay like even in this game, he's got to keep making units, or else if he tries to age, maybe he sacrifices his units for too long, and he's got these super exposed hunts and gold mines he's gathering on. So
Yeah. Yeah, India doesn't usually need that much map control, but he's got a huge eco, so yeah, he's staring through his resources and well, just all his eggs in the same basket here. So if Boss wins the fight and pushes that location, it's gonna be very tough for India. But I mean, look at the size of that army compared to this one. I mean, sure, these are like premium units, right? Like you get 2 Falks and Calf Combat Queers and Calf Combat Goons, but that's just like a lot of stuff with the Tiger Claws as well, and another batch of Sawars. 4 Goons is not the greatest. Oh, big volley though. Oh, Tabin not reacting. I think he might get another volley. Oh my god, that was a big one.
it's just like taking out all like with the remaining hit points on a lot of those Gurkha, it's like he took out almost half the Gurkha mass there.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff France needs now. He's also gonna send all his goons to snipe. Oh no, you know it's coming, right? He's chasing one Sawa with 10 goons and he's got his Falconets forward, and that's when you're like, oh, I fucked up. And, well, I mean, the Falcons did take a lot of Bowcats down, but now it's just 3 Falconets. But the Queers are still so strong that, I don't know, like, I think France has this, like, easily, actually. Despite not fighting with goons. Yeah.
Fighting Cures down in age when the Cures are probably well, they might just have calf combat,
Yeah,
but they could
just
be double carded at this point. So
well, he decided to go for 4 goons instead, which is questionable maybe, but either way, nicely sniping that red coat and getting the goons in position, and these trades are just so great for France. Like, India is able to stay in the game because he's remassing so much, but I mean, he lost so many units for 2 Falks and a few clears basically. He didn't kill any of the skirms or the goons, he just traded his entire army for 2 Falconets and like 5 or 10 clears. And now he's going to lose a Vil, a Sawa, and 2 elephants, so that's unfortunate. Not what he needs right now.
he was hoping to steal some crates with that villager. No, I don't know. Just a miss rally.
Yeah,
yeah, and I think at this point with these 2 TCs, like France has to be pretty far ahead in economy as well at this point. But I mean,
it's kind of, I don't know.
With CDBs, I mean, there's trickles as well. It's probably like a little bit close.
It's probably slightly France favorite.
Yeah, I mean, but I guess like the players have to switch to like mills, plantations, and rice paddies at this point. And that transition is a little bit easier for India, but it is going to be locking him in H2 even longer.
Yeah, exactly. And while France is still shipping like Scum attack, and he still got some upgrades, he can send Eco Theory as well. So, you know, he's going to be pretty pleased with staying. I mean, with setting up for late game, while India is just in H2 and hasn't got any card to send left as well. Well, I don't know about pushing under the Agra fort like that. Does he really need to commit like this? I guess he can. He's just got the better army, so. And the trees are going to be very annoying for India, or the Sawas not quite connecting to the skirms. Queers just need to move, and yeah, I think... I don't think India ever kills these Queers now, and there's like 1,000 Vils here, so... GG probably?
Yeah, this looks like a really tough position to be in as tabben. The only boss, like, just cleaning up the army, getting on top of all these villagers.
Yeah.
And yeah, this probably has to be the end of the game soon. Just really well played from the only boss. Really well defended. And yeah, I mean, starting out 1-0, great start to the series for him.
Right, yeah. Pretty impressive. I mean, he did defend quite well, for sure. Not
just really
perfect defense, but very good defense, you know. Like, and
yeah, even though it was just very good control with the CDBs, and the wall bought him a lot of time, and
yeah. And even though the build order was sometimes a little bit questionable, like going 700 coin second card and then being sort of stuck in H2 for a little bit, and then shipping 1,000 wood even though he already had 700 wood in. You know, some stuff could have maybe been changed, but overall I think it was a really clean play by Boss, and yeah, tabben trying to commit so much to H2 didn't quite pay off eventually, and yeah, good game. We can have a quick look at the stats. So yeah, India is still out gathering because he's idling so much, and he did have more eco for a while, but like the trades have got to be pretty good for France. When you see how many more units India had, this was also a great trade. The last one, of course. Well, basically every fight was at least even for France.
The turning point was after that age up, pushing under the TC and losing everything. Like Boss lost almost no units with the dragoons against the sepoy and the sowars, and
You mean
Tabben
here?
lost everything.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that
Like just
was
just before 12 minutes.
pretty bad for India. But you know, he lost like a handful of units, but then he took a very bad trade again after that. So, yep, indeed. All
Yeah.
right,
Oh, I was talking about the. I think I have like a 3-second delay on your stream, but I was talking about the
here.
one at yeah, right there in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like,
Okay. Yeah.
that was the second fight as well. And yeah, okay, so let's have a look at the views. Bus, oh, well, I guess he did lose a few more CDBs than we thought he did, but overall, not losing too many views. And eventually, just outbooming India. Like, he was gonna probably start outgathering in a long time, but yeah. Alright, so 1-0 for Bus. And we'll move on to game 2.
Trying to remember what the second map is so I can predict the matchup, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, it's Punjab. Alright.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, I was thinking maybe a Russia game.
That's unfortunate. Still no UI. Sucks a bit. I'm just gonna move the score a little bit then. Alright. Okay, anyway. So. Oh, I need to change the scroll speed again. Alright, we're good. Alright, so, tabben countering Brits with Russia, basically. So, bus locking Brits on this map. Which is not a bad pick, but it's not the best British map, I think.
Yeah, and this matchup is arguably a pretty good one for Russia. So I think Tabben's going to be pretty happy about that. It's especially since Russia is a civ that I think Tabben is very comfortable with. He's played it almost more than any other civ, I think.
Possibly, yeah. He did play lots of Russia, but he also played lots of India, and yeah, I don't know, but yeah, definitely experienced with that civ, and gonna find an 80 wood treasure. He also got 55 food here, which is especially nice as Russia. So with that food and probably the couple yaks he's got like 2 of them. He should have an idle-less age up, I think, which is really great on this new patch, because like you age really early if you don't idle at all, because your villagers produce a little bit faster. And well, Boss also getting 80 wood himself. And so we see the standard wood trickle and 3 villager shipment. Is he gonna go 11 or just... Oh, he's actually already going 11. No, he's actually not. Never mind. I'm just blind.
He idled for a couple of seconds
Yeah.
there, it looked like. And he was moving, or actually we were looking at the only boss, so saw him moving the cows and was like, oh, maybe he's doing it. But
Yeah, wait, I'm just confusing. Yeah, right. That was not the right player, but anyway, he did idle a little bit, but he's going for a 14 age up. Boss is aging 16 bills. So he actually idled as well, a little bit maybe, and 80 axe just to get the extra early age up. 1
yeah,
bill early.
This age time though is great for British in this matchup.
Yeah.
It's about 20 seconds earlier than you normally get, and like the thing that British struggles with in this matchup, or one of the things, is just getting out enough early units to hold. But aging up a little bit sooner is going to make that much easier for him. So
Yeah. Yeah, generally speaking, you can't be... It can't be bad to age early against Russia. Always makes it a little bit easier to handle the rush. So yeah, definitely a good decision by him. But Russia is also getting a satisfying age of time, I think. And he's got that 80 wood from age 1 and still 60 wood in crates, so... why is he... Is he gonna drop a TP or something? Oh, I think he just forgot
Maybe,
altogether.
or maybe
Opening straight at.
maybe Strelitz. Yeah.
But he's also mining coins, so it looks a little bit ambitious there. It looks like he wants to get steel traps and a TP and a batch of strelets, maybe? Or something like that. Or a second blockhouse, I don't know. Or maybe it's Miss Macro. It's really hard to tell at this point, I think. Meanwhile, Boss is just, well, he's built 2 extra manors and he's got the market. And he's gonna drop a military building, but he needs to maybe start gathering resources, because against Russia, like, you can't chop too much. Especially with 200 coin only and not 500 food. But yeah, the tower is gonna be really nice for sure. So he's up nice and early. Meanwhile, oh, that's cheeky. Gonna backyard that hunt.
Yep, make sure that he doesn't get that as easily in the future. It's good long-term hurting there.
Yeah, and Tabben going for the classic 5 cost, 5 masks rush. And he did, I think he did scout, yeah, he did scout the stable, so he can go for that, right? If you see a barracks and you do this, and he has like 5 actual musketeers, and the tower, you can't fight. So, but since he knows there's a stable, he's like, okay, I confirm that I can go for Cossacks and Musks, and he's also getting that second blockhouse. So maybe I still don't know if it was just Miss Macro, and because of the Miss Macro he's dropping the second blockhouse, or if it was just all planned. But either way, not too big of a deal. He does get a batch of musks, even though he chopped a bit too much, so he's gonna be happy about that. Oh, that villager is... Oh, the hunt's just blocking the cav. Oh, that's very dicey for Boss here. 1 bill, probably 2 bills. Good. Oh, just 1 bill going down. Oh, playing with fire here. 3 house popping. Kind of just enough to scare Russia away, I guess.
Yeah, he can't risk Minutemen pop and getting snared for sure. And he's just immediately going to go raid with them. I kind of like that decision.
Yeah. And
try to draw some of the attention away from your base.
Thanks for the how is it called? The gift, the sub. Yeah, the gifted sub. That's it. Yes. Thanks a lot. Going to raid with 3 Haas, and yeah, like you say, just trying to take some of the pressure off. But Tabben is gonna try and keep idling, but this is not too bad for Brits. He's got the tower and the TC shooting, explore as well. So, oh, that's a nice pop though. Tabben just getting 4 costs, but he might want to punch with bills or something. He does have some TC fire, but at the end of the day, it's not a terrible trade for Brits, right? He's still killing like 3 costs and idling, so it's not too bad, really.
Yeah, I think that was a totally fine trade for those Hussars, but Tabben just content to trade off all these musketeers and idle himself, so...
And killing 1 bill, yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is kind of exactly what you want to do as Russia at this point. When your opponent doesn't have a barracks up, you can't really train units very easily. He's going to force a Minutemen call already, which is not like the most valuable Minutemen call in the world, and
yeah, also popping on the wrong side. Yeah.
Yeah, this is gonna make it hard to potentially hold like a follow-up push in a couple minutes because he still doesn't have a barracks.
Yeah.
He's definitely not gonna be aging. He can't even train Hussars at the moment. So
yeah, and Brits kind of have that ability to add a second building kind of early. Of course, you have to cut some of your boom if you're gonna add like a second building, but against Russia, usually you get a barracks quite early if you open stable. and yeah, he just needs one. Like getting placer mines in a house now is extremely greedy in my opinion. He could just get a barracks and start making mosques, and then boom a little bit more with the 600 wood. But now he's just gonna delay his musketeer batch by quite a lot, and well, Brits can just keep making musks, and he's just gonna have more musks than Brits. Did I say Brits twice? Anyway, Russia can still make more musks than Brits now because there's no barracks. And
Yeah. Does Tabben have a stable yet? There's a couple of ways that if I remember from the old ESOC patch days, Tabben had a couple of ways to play Russia, and one of the main ones, especially against the Civ like Brits, was just to stay on 2 blockhouses the whole time, never drop a stable, and just make like 60 strelets and 50 muskets, and just push your base like as you're aging. And it looks like that might be what he's going for this game.
yeah, he does stack 700 wood now, which is not going to be very useful just yet. Also, he had to commit to 4 Cossacks after 5 Cossacks, but yeah, I mean, he's done quite a lot of damage. He's killed a couple of bills. He's idled really a lot, and well, Brits just doesn't really have units, honestly. So it's looking pretty good for Russia. But there might be a sort of timing here for Brits. He's eating, I think he's just eaten some yaks, maybe not. And he's gonna get a nice batch of, I think he should get a batch of musks. I think he should cut a few husks here and get 10 musks out, but he's instead gonna get more cav, and he's not gonna have a whole lot of musketeers at the end of the day. Just 5. But maybe it's enough. Always very hard to push into 2 blockhouses though, and Russia, like you said, it's just going for musk and strelets, so very hard to kill.
Yeah, what is that unit at the top of the map for Tabben?
It's a Cossack.
He's
He's got
building-
one here and one
Okay,
there.
just a Cossack. Just keeping an eye on the resources up there, and the resources on the bottom.
Oh, I think
like that.
I think Brits had to go in here. Honestly, he could.
Yeah, that looked like an opportunity for him, but it was a little bit too afraid.
Yeah, then again, never
Now-
mind, because Russia is pushing, so he didn't need to. But I thought, you know, Russia would just retreat here when he saw the cav mass, but in fact, he's gonna try to fight, and well, with 10 more musks, I think this is definitely... This is looking like a trap. He's gonna try to catch, but some of the musks are still in the back, so... I think he can buy his Explorer back again and try to, like, just force a fight, right? And Musk Streetlight is great in between 2 blockhouses, but here I feel like the Russian musks are just going to die. That's out of cap.
That was an amazing trade for the only boss. Just like he's lost almost no units here, and he's killed everything.
Yeah, he's starting to lose most of his husk now, but he's trading that for like, I don't know, 25 Russian musks or something. So it's a really good trade for him. Then again,
sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was really good micro too, like pulling back like 3 different husks that were all being snared, and overall that was just a really that was exactly what British needs to stay in the game. But yeah, I mean this backherding that Tabben did earlier in the game, paying off a little bit. I think the hunt ran to the top of the map, but it's still like a little bit more out of reach than it was previously.
I don't know why they work so much on DE. Like, I don't know how it's here, but anyway, Brits, you know, he needs to secure that hunt. Oh, there's one Cossack here, gonna be annoying. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a very close game, I think, because like Brits just has more stuff, and he's got that's the wrong home city. He's got Musk attack in as well, so that's quite nice. And he's still got one hunt, which is really like he would be losing, I think, if he didn't have that food, because we need to push, and he would be in a very tough spot. But
he's actually probably able to secure that second ton. He started herding in, and he can probably get that pretty close to his base. But there's potentially going to be a fight here, just going to try to force it with the Hussars.
Yeah, maybe just not enough Huss here, but I don't know. It's looking like a good trade so far for boss, but it's still 2 blockhouses, units gonna pop, and then streetlets are gonna be tough to kill without Huss. And you know, it always looks like a good trade against Russia until eventually they keep remassing more than you, and
Until you remember their units are free.
yeah, right. And here it just looks good for Russia now. Like the scores are pretty close. Russia is, he basically has the same eco as Brits. He's got the whole map control. He's still got quite a few interesting shipments as well. While Boss is kind of forced to ship. Well, I guess he could go for 6 longbows or something, but well, he does have 27 musks, so musk HP is fine, but like he's on a timer here. He needs to do something, and maybe pushing these blockhouses is not the right way. Maybe what he needed was to like try and age and just sit in his build with his units.
Yeah, he might have had an opportunity to age after he crushed that fight, but losing some more Hussars for free is definitely not what you want in this situation. Like he's on a clock now with those hunts running out, and breaking these blockhouses just looks like it's not going to happen. So he's going to need to find a way to maybe secure the resources, like on the top of the map, like that gold mine and those 2 extra hunts. His villagers are going to be moving up there soon, but
yeah, and now tabben is gonna make some costs, so he's even able to catch the raids. And because he saw 2 Haas there, he killed some of them, and so he's like waiting for the calf to come. That musk count is growing really fast. I mean, he's got so many musketeers here, and Boss eventually is gonna have a hard time fighting this. Not too much is happening just yet. I mean, Brits is getting contained by Russia, but he still does have some hunts. Russia kind of like just patrolling around, trying to just contain.
Yeah, he's just waiting. He doesn't need to try and force the issue or anything. He just needs to wait for the only boss to run out of resources, and then the only boss is going to be forced into a fight. But some good raids and some trades up top, going well for tabben.
Yeah. These musks are like infinitely better. Oh, he's actually trying to age, so he cancelled musk HP and he's just saving resources. And oh my god, this is terrible. He's got, oh, this is so sad to see. He's not able to age and
Gold.
oh no, so many bills, dude. And I don't know, like this could just be dead if Boss was staying H2 and he got musk HP and stuff. And if he spent all this into into units, he could definitely clean this up. But now he's in big trouble, I think. It's a long way to H3 now.
Yeah, it's going to take a couple of minutes, and tabben is maybe sensing weakness now. He's getting a little bit bolder with his army. And yeah, it's going to be tough. But I mean, if he can hold and not lose his army for another like 2 or 3 minutes until he gets those falconets out or something, then maybe he can be okay. But yeah, it's going to be tough.
Yeah, and even if he does, you know, what is really preventing tabben from just aging himself? Like, he could also just follow up and still be ahead, I think. But yeah, for the time being, he's going to push in. And Brits is trying to buy time and kite away. But there's just so many blue units here, dude. Like,
yeah, and there's no space to kite. Like, where do you go? You're at the edge of the map almost.
yeah, he's gonna get trapped there. And he's not exactly taking a bad trade at the moment, but he's aging, and that's not when you want to fight. He wants to keep these musketeers alive and upgrade them and stuff. But there's still so many Cossacks and doing a good job of like sacking a few musks to buy time. And oh, but this cost, oh yeah, this is maybe super painful. I think I'm calling it for Russia here. Like, Brits has lost this game, I think.
This is looking a bit hopeless. The villagers are going to get exposed on the top of the map, or they already have been. All the muskets are going to die. There's just no food income at all. Like, his whole eco's idled under his TC. And, yeah, it looks like just not the right timing to age, and tabben punishing it, like, perfectly.
Yep. And boss is up, but what's the point? Yeah, it's really unfortunate for him that he aged at that time. He's gonna try to, you know, like get 2 Falks and
He could make a box. Wall in the Falcons, make the box, and just turtle.
yeah,
And
yeah,
die in 3 minutes instead of right away.
and then Russia, yeah, just doesn't care about your 2 Falks in a way if you do that. So yeah, like Russia was so far ahead in eco now after killing all these fields. He's got the full map control, and he could even age now. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't take long to gather the resources when you have 50 bills. So yeah, well played by tabben. Was looking like a pretty close game until boss just decided to age it. Yeah, I think at the wrong time. So
Yeah, tabben took one bad fight, but other than that, like, this is a perfect example of how you want to play Russia versus British. Like, you don't panic, you just apply a little bit of pressure, you don't go all in, you just control the resources, you think about the long term, how British is going to struggle to push out of their base and get those resources, and eventually you end up in the situation where British just can't train units anymore, and you just win the game.
yeah, right. And they try to push into your blockhouses, and it just never really works, right? So
Yep.
and like we're saying, he took a bad trade, and yeah, it did look like a bad trade, but honestly, when you look at the stats, it's not even a very bad trade for Russia. So yeah, well played by tabben, and yeah, the British boom was not exactly scary. He was never able to boom a lot, was never able to really crush a fight, and that's the kind of stuff you need against Russia, right? Either you have to get away with getting a huge eco early as Brits and then a huge mass behind or something, or an age up, or you have to like crush some fights and nuke the blockhouses. But he wasn't able to do any of that. And as you can see, he's not even outgathering Russia, so very tough from there. So yeah, GG, 1-1 now. And next map is what is it?
Grand Chaco.
It's Grand
Not GG.
Chaco. You're right.
It could be a Russia mirror.
Yeah, if they want to use, if tabben wants to use his Russia again, which he can, but it's a bit of a sacrifice, you know.
You could play, yeah. tabben could also play India again.
Yeah, if I was
I'm not
tabben,
sure.
I wouldn't use my second pick on Russia as a first pick on Grand Chaco, you know. It's a bit of a
Right.
waste. India sounds pretty good to me in any case.
I'm not sure what other civs he would be willing to play on this map. Okay, he is playing Russia again.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, tabben confirmed to me that there's no UI. I forgot he said that they were getting out of sync constantly. Just OOS trying to use the Ace mod. So yeah, it's fine. All right. Dutch against Russia. Pretty standard matchup on those no TP maps. What do you think about this?
About this matchup?
Yeah, so tabben picking first and boss counter picking with Dutch.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think I've gone back and forth on this matchup a few times. In the past, like, sometimes it feels like it's really hard for Dutch, because you can't really, like, ever push out an H2 without taking, like, a huge risk, and it's hard to age safely a lot of the time. But there was a build for a while where basically you could just 5 bank, make 0 units, just ship Colonial Militia and age.
Yeah.
And that was pretty hard for Russia to beat, but now that Town Militia has been nerfed a little bit, I'm not really sure how this matchup plays out. I think it could probably go either way.
Yeah, and also Russia has a better scaling now as well with the latest changes. So,
Yeah, that's
like
right.
trying to just sit in base with 5 banks is not as efficient as it used to be. Then again, when it's an OTP map, it's a little bit better for Dutch to try and turtle because there's no stagecoach potential for Russia. And I think Bus does get this treasure. So that's a nice 70 wood for him. So he's going to have a pretty easy time getting that bank up. But yeah, there's that build you mentioned. It's definitely something people like to do at the moment in this kind of turtle and grid meta. They like to go 5 banks, Konya militia, and just sit in base against Russia. I personally think you should still like just bank back and stable start as Dutch, and if you can get a 14 age up, it's pretty good. But yeah, we'll see what.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Dutch has a lot of options in this matchup. It's just like none of them feel like very super safe or solid
yeah,
options. I'm kind of
yeah.
like more interested to see if tabben does anything differently. Like what we would expect from Russia in this matchup is just to like make a lot of like strelets and just try to like idle the eco as much as possible and eventually just overwhelm him. But like maybe he'll try to sneak in like an early age up with like a church or something and get 2 falcons at some point, or who knows, right?
Yeah, I
He
guess.
could surprise us.
Wait, so by the way, so yeah, Taban has used his second Russian peak, right?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
I didn't
Gave us the
realize,
last
but
game of this game.
yeah. Okay, interesting. So he really does want to play Russia here. And what do you want to say? He's eating 2 llamas, so he's gonna have a very good age up time. Also getting 100. No, that's boss actually. But yeah, gonna age up quite early as Russia. Barely later than Dutch actually, which is quite nice. Oh, and Dutch finding 100 coin. This is perfect for him. It's exactly what he needs for his first villager. So it's gonna be great. And I don't think Russia will be able to deny that. 2 villagers going forward, very standard stuff.
Yeah, I think it's funny with Dutch, like in transition, you would love to get a wood or food treasure, but for some reason, just getting 100 coin from treasures just feels amazing, even though it doesn't help you get your bank faster.
Right, yeah. In theory, it's better to get the equivalent amount of resources in food or wood so you get your bank earlier and stuff. But yeah, it's just like easy to macro. When you get
Yeah, it makes
100 coin,
everything
you're
way
like,
easy.
perfect, nice. I don't have to set any bill to coin, and yeah. All right, so I'm trying to figure out what Dutch is gonna do. It feels like he might be going for the bank bag and stuff because he's mining quite a bit of coin, but maybe he's just really wanting to get his bill in queue. Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Which is kind of questionable considering he's getting 100 coin as well, but yeah, well. It's gonna slow down his bang boom a little bit. And Taban does have that blockhouse up here. And he's macroed for musks. Again. And like you say, you kind of expect straight lights usually, I think. They're just better at idling. But
yeah, but
yeah.
the muskets are. I mean, the muskets are a safe option as well. Like if Dutch is starting with a stable or something, like he hadn't confirmed it yet, and
Yeah, I guess.
just having the musks out, it'll be okay.
And the musks are coming in. They will not quite be able to deny the bank. They will just get sniped by TC Fire. So yeah, it's a bit of a gamble indeed. These musks are just not gonna be too great here, but he just wanted to play it safe. Going for
Yeah,
bank
and
bag. Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
even though they're not as good as Strelets, like I think trading off like 5 cheap muskets for like a lot of idle time is totally fine as well. Anyway,
Yeah.
like it's still gonna be worth it.
I don't have any sound. I'm gonna need to restart next. But yeah, it's still not a bad trade for Russia. You're right. But again, I think Dutch, like gathering that extra coin is kind of really painful for him because he should have the food for a bank, but he doesn't. So he's not gonna be able to try and drop a bank. Then again, with all these units around, I guess he would not be able, regardless, to drop a bank. But yeah, he's gonna have a hard time getting that remaining food for it. And tabben just keeps idling. He's got a stable up, so he went 700. No, he actually got a stable up directly from the 400 wood age up. So he's probably just gonna go 700 coin. He's gonna get the XP now when his batch completes. And I think we will see 700 coin for that stable, yeah. So he's trying to get a lot of cav early. Doesn't have a church, but he does have a market. Probably steel traps. Maybe.
Just hunting dogs looked like when you clicked on the bill.
Oh yeah, because you can see
the gathering.
Yeah, right. Always forget about that.
It's a nice quality of life feature that they added.
Yeah, I mean it's.
But
you can see, like, you can scout what your opponent has, which is a bit questionable, I think. But yeah, it's nice for casting for
that's
sure.
That's true. That's true. But the only boss actually going to be losing out on a couple of vills here just because he's housed.
Yeah, and he really needs to get this
coming in now.
Yeah, also, like, tabben has forced Konya militia, he's idled some vills, Dutch is on only 3 banks, so it's very awkward for Dutch right now. I don't think he's very happy about this. Gonna try to drop a stable, he's got CM, so he's gonna be able to get the stable down.
Yeah, what he's really going to need, well, I guess not at the moment because tabben doesn't have any units, but if he was going to just get idled like this, he would need a market. Stacking so much coin because he's not able to gather any food. But yeah, I guess with the town militia, like, tabben's not going to be able to do that. But also, tabben's not really making any units. I wonder if tabben maybe is pivoting to an age up.
He just made some costs, but yeah.
Yeah. I was just wondering, like, maybe he saw town militia and he's like, I have 700 coin. Why don't I just age? But
yeah. I think he's.
He actually.
Yeah, alright. I'm not a fan of what tabben is doing. I mean, this 700 coin for some Cossacks, which aren't really gonna do much, and then just goes 700 wood. You know, you would kind of expect after 700 coin maybe 13 strelets or for Cossacks to just keep pushing, but he can't really push because of CM. So he's going 700 wood, but because of 700, I mean, I just don't know what he's gonna do with 700 wood. Honestly,
yeah,
it's a lot of wood.
Feels like. Yeah, it feels like this follow-up is definitely a little bit slow. Like, what you would want here is just, like, you denied the military buildings and banks for so long, you probably just want to, like, rally Strelets under his base and just idle him for eternity, but...
Or age up or something, but yeah. Like, he could actually have gone 600 coin behind in age, maybe, but yeah, he's just waiting for his 700 wood to get a lot of Strelets out, probably, because he's stacking so much food. But yeah, Dutch is just gonna be up, and there's not much Russia can do about it. There's even CM, and Dutch has a shipment. Like, if I'm Dutch now, I'd probably even risk the 1000 wood at this point. Like, you've got CM working for you, you can just make Haas, and if he pushes in, you just get 5 Haas and all your Minutemen and clean up. He's also still got the 6 Minutemen, right? The actual 6 Minutemen.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he doesn't really know how many units tabben has, right? Like, he could be thinking, like, okay, there could be like 40 Strelets like pushing under my base any second now. And
he actually changes his shipment because he doesn't see any push, and so he's gonna change to 1k wood a little bit later. But yeah, he's gonna be alright. So that's pretty good for him.
Yeah, that was a good read. Like, you would expect, like, after he ages, like, tabben would have pushed immediately, but he sees nothing, and he's like, well, maybe he's aging or something. Like, I have time.
Right, yeah, and tabben knows himself. He's like, okay, this is not many units for Russia at this point, and I can't really do anything with them, because like all boss needs is a unit shipment to hold, and even without a unit shipment, like 5 skirms, 5 Reiters, and the TC Fire Minutemen, and he's just fine. So tabben is gonna try to make something happen here, but like, it's also pretty scary when you have only 5 musketeers, and you know Dutch can get like 10 Haas easily with a shipment and a batch of 5 and just destroy you. And with the walls are going to be extremely tricky to deal with as well.
Yeah, really good timing on the walls. Unfortunately, not quite going to finish it, but yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of it down. It's just going to make defending so much easier having even half a wall there.
Yeah, he can just keep turning around his TC, even gate and escape. Well, actually, he can't really gate there, but which is unfortunate. But yeah, he can still sneak his units through this gap and stuff. And if tabben really commits to anything, especially behind boss base, there's always the colonial militia threat. And like, what if he ships 5 Haas and trains 5 and yeah, I mean, it's going to be very hard for Russia to kill this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Like this Minuteman Pop, he's going to get just 1 Haas out. So, a bit confused about this. I think all he had to do was to get like a nice batch of Haas and like 10 Haas in veterancy, maybe. He could even let his skirms die and keep hitting running with Ritters. It's okay, like to lose 5 skirms. But now he's actually calling Minutemen with no other units, and they're just not gonna do much. And this is the kind of stuff Russia likes.
But despite that, there's not a lot of anti-cav here for this 5 Hussar shipment. I mean, I guess there's a lot of Cossacks still.
Yeah, there's just too many units for Russia, and like 5 unupgraded Haas aren't gonna do so much. And despite shipping 1,000 wood, Dutch also does not have any other bank. He's still on 3 banks, no vet Haas. It's just looking pretty good for Russia all of a sudden. I think he's maybe going to get the bank down, actually. If he just sieges this bank down, I mean, I don't know what Dutch really does. He still has 6 Minutemen, but just doesn't have a lot of units. And
right, but this is still a game.
Yeah, it is, I mean, for sure.
Dutch is still H3, and I don't think tabben has the game-ending army just yet.
No, not quite. He's lacking musketeers to feel really safe as well. But he does have a lot of boyar units.
How do these villagers keep ending up underneath boss's TC in every game?
Sorry, what?
Tabben has had 3 villagers like right next to the banks, and
now I didn't even see that. Yeah, it's a bit sloppy, maybe. I wonder why he'd get the rally point of his TC there as well. There's no like shipment you want to ship there. I mean,
it could be maybe they were from the Ford base and he just like drag boxed everything.
Oh, yeah, possibly.
But
yeah, I mean, that's not a lot of units for Dutch, but vet Haas are just very scary for Russia to deal with. And 4 skirms is actually just enough to one-shoot musketeers, so it's enough to poke. And tabben is gonna get a lot of reinforcements here. But Boss also has a Ritter shipment. And if he gets another batch of Haas, he could very well clean this up. Minutemen as well, still available. Still on 3 banks, though. I mean, Dutch needs to clean up soon, basically, because he's on a timer. He's got less eco, and he's gonna run out of unit shipments at some point. So here he needs to clean up, and here we go. He's trying to go in. He needs to complete that batch. Damn, he could have gotten 5 Haas out for sure instead of 3.
Right, but there's not enough musketeers here, right? Like, I mean, he's got a lot of Cossacks, but
yeah,
these Hussars are going to be really strong.
Yeah, if Boss can snipe he's got his Ritters in a good position. He can snipe some Musks, and the Haas are just very hard to kill. But if he got a batch of 5 Haas instead of 3, it could have changed this fight. I think he could have maybe got some Haas left at the end and clean up. But now he's just missing, these few extra units as Dutch to really win this fight. And he's gonna win the fight, but is it a bad trade for Russia? I don't know. It's Russia, so you never really know. Like, it's still Dutch is not making bills, he's being idled and all that. He's gonna clean up though now with 5 Haas, so that's
He
gonna be very
hasn't he
nice.
hasn't called his 6 Minutemen batch, right?
Yeah, yeah,
He
that's
used
also.
he used the town militia, but he hasn't called the 6 Minutemen, and it would be huge here.
Yeah, it would have definitely been huge. But still cleaning up. Not as well as you would like against Russia. You always want to already crush. Oh, but this is a waste of another 5 Cossacks.
Yeah, but look how many units Boss has made too. Like he's going to clean up these Cossacks. He just popped 8 skirmishers. He just popped 5 skirmishers from his barracks, and Tabben has nothing on the field after losing those Cossacks.
Yeah, right. And then again, Russia can always remass. But yeah, now there's a window for Dutch to try to break the blockhouse. He can also just raid with his cav because like there's bills a bit all over the place. But yeah, I think it's just going to go for the simple push. Just don't raid, just right click that blockhouse, and that's good enough. And Bastia has plenty of shipments. I mean, he's got 7 and skirms and 7 reiters, and he's also got his unit upgrade, so he can still ship some military. And even though he's quite a bit behind in eco, this army is going to be very hard for Russia to beat. Russia trying to fight, but I don't see how this works.
Yeah, there's just more units and stronger units for Dutch here.
Just imagine if he was using these 5 costs and the 5 costs that he deleted a bit earlier, he could actually maybe do something here. But yeah, he's basically lacking 10 Cossacks that he should have had in the fight, so yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like the only boss has put himself in a winning position
Yeah.
at this point. Like, defended really well, and I think like Tabben might just be forced to resign. Like, I don't know how he makes enough units at this point to deal with this. All of his villagers are very exposed. Like, Boss has access to like this hunt and this gold mine in front of his base now, so he's not really worried about being stuck in his town center or on berries or something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks just really tough for Russia.
Yeah, right. He can even still add. Oh, he's got a 4th bank, which is nice, and he could get a 5th bank at some point, so yeah, it's gonna be very hard for Russia to do anything. He can't win a fight, and he's not outbooming as much as he would like, so.
I think that stable died just before another Cossack batch popped as well.
Well, I guess that means that Tabben saved 5 costs, right? Because I think if 5 costs popped, they would have just died. So
I guess so, but at the same time, like maybe that was like he felt like he could have won a fight with that if he got the pop at the right time. I don't know, because
yeah,
like it's just hard to mass at this point.
yeah, it's hard to like get units out. They're just gonna get picked off, and you need like a lot of units if you want to do something as Russia here. And well, at the same time, there's only a few Haas, and these turrets might be. I don't know. He's making masks, and he kind of. Yeah, there's some Haas here. It's looking, yeah, really not good for Russia. And here he needs a stable up. I don't know if Russia dropped a stable somewhere now. He tried to drop one here, but it went down. But he's kind of holding his ground, so yeah. He's got a lot of resources in bank as well. Imagine he can get like 50 stridents now, and if he also gets a stable and some costs, he could actually not lose just yet. I'm not gonna say he's gonna win the game, but I can see Russia holding for now.
Yeah, he's done a good job of holding on, and he's going to be able to make a lot of units really quickly,
Yeah.
for sure. But the only boss, like, has he started adding in banks? Like, he's probably
He's got the
able to
4th bank and now the 5th bank. So yeah. So Russia is not even ahead in eco anymore, thanks to that. And yeah, this is also very hard to deal with as Russia. Like these goon plus cav raids, you can't catch them. You have girls all over the place. You can't really drop a blockhouse on each hunt. It's just too expensive. But then you just get raided. So, And now Dutch is just ahead in eco, right? I mean, and he's got some
Yep.
natural resources, so yeah.
Yeah, it's looking good. But maybe tabben can go for kind of like a base trade like this. Like he's going to check this gold mine, see if he can find vills. Maybe he just walks up to the mine up top while the army is missing, and if he kills a whole bunch of vills, maybe he trades like half his army for it. Doesn't like maybe he can hold on.
Yeah, I think he's got less mobility as well because of all this cav, and Russia has basically stopped making Cossacks as well. So he's really like stuck with pure infantry. Well, now he's training one. So like it's really risky to try and move around the map because all these Hus can just clean up, not quite clean up the army on their own, but almost. So and Russia's gonna try to hold here, but there's just a lot of cav, and these have cav combat as well, right? So they're very scary here, and a big fight going on, and I think tabben might get a good positioning on the Hus, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. Boss is just doing a good job of microing away, and this cleanup is gonna be very hard for Russia to come back from. I think we might see the GG here. Oh, interesting bookhouse though. Yeah, GG.
Yeah, well played from boss. Starting 2-0 or 2-1 rather against tabben. I think if you had told me that the only boss was going to be playing against tabben in the round of 8 with a lead at midway through the series, I would have told you you're crazy. But he's done it.
Well, I mean,
still
after
a few games to
beating,
go, but
yeah, after beating Prince and Ace, it's less surprising for sure. But I didn't think he would have improved that much recently. But yeah, it's
yeah,
really nicely played from him overall. Some mistakes, but really just really high level play overall, I think.
yeah. I think I've been especially just impressed by
Micro, yeah.
his micro. Yeah,
Yeah, he's got a very good micro for sure. That's the power of Nila Scrubs, dude. On Nila, like, I don't know. People are very good, I guess. Like Ace and Boss and me. But I think Boss, is going to be pleased with this tournament format as well, right? Like, he's not the kind of guy who knows the Asian civs or Warchief civs, so even less, I think, able to play like African civs and stuff. So I think he's kind of in his element here.
right. Yeah, that's true. I think you said you had to restart your game as well.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah, I
forget to do
will.
that.
I will. But yeah, Russia just outbrewing pretty hard, but still just not able to win fights at some point. So yeah, like that was an amazing trade for Dutch. All right,
Yeah, absolutely.
so yeah, I'm gonna restart for sound.
So you still consider yourself a nil player after all these years?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'm still not playing any Asian civ, and sometimes playing a few warchief civs, but I'm still mostly just playing Nila civs, and I don't know.
Oh, come on, you've got to start playing China. Come on.
No, I really don't have to. I'm just
I'm just
playing
bugging you.
like honestly. Last time I played was my previous series, and now I played today for my other series. I just don't have time to even learn. What am I doing? I don't have time to learn a civ now. Like
Right.
I'm not playing enough. All right, so that's game 4 then on Florida, I believe. So I guess we might see Boss. Oh, okay, German Miro, nice. I expected Boss to maybe pick France again with the second pick, but he's going for Germany. People really love Germany and Florida for some reason, even though it's just not the
Well,
greatest
I
pick.
mean,
It's good,
I guess
but Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it doesn't look like either player is doing it, but you could TP start on this map with Germany, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I kind of
But you just
expected that, but yeah.
yeah, you just buy 100 wood at the market, and then you pretend like you had 2 wood crates the whole time. But yeah, neither player going for that.
You can actually, yeah, especially when you, like, as blue, it's just perfect, right? As tabben, you just go there, crackshot this, buy wood, build your TP instantly, and it's just great. And you can, even with good macro, and if you eat a couple of sheep, get hunting dogs and a TP. I've done this a few times, and it's just pretty good as Germany. But yeah, they're just going for the... I'm kind of confused about this macro, actually. Wait. He's got his hunting... Okay, he's just got extra coin for some reason, but yeah. They're just gonna go for the quick age up, I guess. They might be able to age 16 with the free market.
Maybe he should just buy 100 food. Guarantee the 16 bill age up. I mean, it's not great to buy 100 food, but like if it gets you up sooner and you get your 3 settler wagons sooner, it kind of pays off.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I mean, you could have also bought wood and gotten a TP, right? You would have 140 wood. Like, there's so many options on this map, but the boss decided to just go for just the hunting dogs and nothing else. And looks like boss got more food in the bank.
But tabben's actually building a TP, so
Oh,
he went for both hunting dogs and buying wood, I guess.
yeah, it's just annoying that I can't see the treasures, you know? Like, the treasure log is really a big problem when casting, in my opinion. I just don't know what they got. Like,
Do you have the page up hotkey?
it doesn't work for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've tried that, but
It didn't work for me a few months ago either, but it works for me recently. I don't know why.
oh yeah, well, lucky you.
Yep.
But I know he was chopping a bit of wood. He maybe sold 100 food to buy 100 wood because he had like 50 coin in the bank, so he could.
Oh, by the way,
do
timeline.
Oh yeah, right. Thanks. And he's gonna have to eat like 2 sheep probably, but he should have a decent age up time. And he did get the XP as well, which is nice. Because like I was gonna say, you know, it's a bit of a late TP. Maybe it's not worth like slowing down your age up if you're gonna get it up that late. But he got the XP, so it's not too bad really. Boss is also going for a 17 age up, and he's not gonna be up very early as well. So, you know, it's quite good for tabben. I mean, they're aging up at the same time somehow. And tabben just has the TP, so I would say he's just ahead now.
Yeah, he's definitely got to be feeling comfortable with that. But I mean, there's 200 coin already in the bank for the only boss, so he'll be a little bit behind on XP, but in terms of resources, he's not doing too bad. But oh my god, he didn't finish the sheep.
No, yeah.
That's a sin.
Yeah, right. It hurts to see that when you play this game. It's like it's actually only a couple of food, I think, that he lost, but it still feels unnatural, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more than that. Like, these sheep trust you, they obey your orders, and then you kill them, and you don't even use all the food.
You actually even get them to like commit suicide, right? You just delete them.
you just order them. You're like, stop breathing.
Yeah, just die, dude, and open open yourself. Like, the guy's actually laying there and ready to be gathered. But yeah. Anyway, boss missing the XP. I was, you know, like thinking he might have wanted to buy 100 wood to get the TP up earlier, because if you get the XP, it's definitely worth it. But he didn't get the XP. Also because he was working on that treasure there. So yeah, already a bit of a better start for tabben here. But boss. Okay, so he's stacking wood for steel traps, and tabben isn't, basically. That's the difference now. And tabben just quite ahead in XP, so he's gonna have his follow-up shipment earlier. even getting some XP now and got a second TP as well. Because like if you get boss TP and market in age 1, you can afford to drop a second TP in transition, and so he's just getting himself a bit ahead, you know. And
yeah, it's definitely looking really nice for him. It's going to definitely pay off in the next minute or two, or even sooner. Like that, just Germany's shipments cost so much that like he's gonna have his shipments back to back almost, and Tabben or the only boss is gonna be pretty far behind on that shipment curve.
yeah, this is basically the old early TP curve, right? When you would get your TP at minute 1 and they would bring you more XP. And so he had to pay for a second TP, but he's kind of got that XP curve now. And White Boss, oh, I think he did get steel traps now.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, he did get steel traps. And he's just going for a quick semi-FF here, so 3 set of wagons, 700 coin, just going to make calf. Boss player starting stable, very standard stuff. Nothing too fancy. You have lots of options in German Mirror, but the most basic one is the calf start, I guess. And Tabben's going for 700 wood, so he's gonna have more calf than Boss quite soon.
Right, he's also gonna spot the 700 coin here, but he could get caught. Okay, doesn't get caught.
Oh yeah, he barely sees the coin and doesn't get caught. Yeah, so that's pretty good for him. I don't know if he realizes it though. It's not easy to just see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it's just one.
Yeah, and you're just trying to escape and not lose all your Ulans. Maybe you don't notice that there's... But now he definitely confirms the 700 coin. Nice time to scout. And so he's like, okay, he's just shipped coin. I can't just run in with my bigger Ulan mass, idle him, maybe snipe a Vil. And still age up behind because I have 2 TPs, so I got 700 coin on the way already. So already good start here. He's just escaping, but honestly, well, I don't know. Maybe it's right. I don't know. You could also just fight here, I think, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably okay.
Yeah,
like
it
he
is.
force the Minutemen, just back up, wait for the Minutemen to lose a little bit of HP, and then
Now,
maybe
yeah.
you go.
Yeah, right. And Boss is already getting a little bit overconfident here. Okay, now he's gonna pull back, so that's good. But yeah. So Boss is aging. He's gonna be up by, let's say, 755 or something, or 750, and Tabben is gonna age just behind. So just
Yeah, but with an extra shipment, like
Yeah.
he's got 700 wooded, and the boss only just now got his shipment, so
right. Boss is kind of, he's even afraid of, well, he will cancel that shipment, but he's afraid of some sort of push, so he's queuing 3 dubs, which is fine. I mean, it can't be bad to queue and then queue a shipment. I think he kind of needs 1,000 wood now if he wants to stay in the game. Because like
yeah, I
Tabben's,
think 1,000 wood would be really nice.
yeah, because he's got the housing, he's got the second building, the second TP, like just so much better infrastructure for Tabben at this point.
Yeah.
And he's got more cab as well. I mean, well, maybe not. He's got 15 Ulans to 13, so not a very big difference. But yeah, so going for the 1,000 wood, and I think he might be macroing for Black Raiders next. He will get lots of XP from building stuff with the wood, and he might just get Black Raiders quite soon. Oh, that is a big pickup though. Well,
Yeah, trying to be sneaky, but
oh,
you don't always want to be sneaky in this matchup.
yeah, and on Florida you do have a lot of close coin mines, right? Like you've got the back one and 2 of them quite close, so you don't really need to go on your, like, this is the 5th coin mine, right? So it's, yeah,
Yeah, it's a bit
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 greedy.
further out. I mean, maybe he's just expecting like there's no way Tabben will check that, but
Yeah, in German Mirror
just
you
kind of-
can easily find that kind of stuff. So
yeah, especially since like that's just kind of like the normal route. You path your Ulans around the edge of the map to go
Yeah.
check like that back gold mine that he's on now. But he only loses 1 Vil, so not too bad.
Auftrag.
oh, and we see Tabben opening with 8 skirms, which is kind of a unusual first shipment in German Mirror, I would say, in H3, because you don't really try to get skirms out usually. You kind of try to get Ulans or anti-cav, but he decided to go for the skirm Ulan composition, and he does have a lot of cav though. So
this could be scary actually, because Boss is shipping Black Riders, right? Or will be soon, maybe.
So you mean it's scary for tabben, right?
Yeah, because like Ulans and Black Riders, like, is exactly what counters what tabben is making at the moment.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, if you sometimes it's a bit tricky, it's a bit hard to get this shipment. I mean this unit composition in, but if you do get it, it's just kind of the best unit composition you can get in this matchup. At least early on. Of course, eventually you want to add units, but if you get at 10 minutes Black Riders and Ulans, your opponent's gonna have a hard time getting a better composition than you, and yeah, I really don't see tabben winning a fight unless he gets Black Raiders himself or some more wagons or something.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to have a lot of Ulans to kind of like block the skirmishers, and then maybe the skirmishers can pick off the Black Riders, but yeah, it's a scary composition for sure.
Yeah, and also losing two Ulans here trying to raid. So tabben is ahead in eco by 3 bills, but I mean, wait, how many is that? 8 sets of wagons, yeah. So he's just lost 3 bills, but I think Boss got the better army. And while I don't want to see tabben take this fight, he's got so much cav, and they're just all gonna die to the Black Riders. Like, oh, but Boss is afraid. Okay, he's gonna go in now. This choke is great for him as well because he has less cav. So lots of the tabben cav is just gonna walk around, do nothing, while Boss got Black Riders shooting away, and this is just gonna be, I think, a pretty good. Oh, why you pull back? Just no fight. I don't know why he's pulling back, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually going to be able to get onto the skirmishers. Doesn't have quite enough Ulans here, but it's still a great trade for him. Like he's traded off all his Ulans for much more, and he's got a good follow up coming behind this with the 9 Ulan shipment on the way and the cavalry batch.
But I think if he didn't like move, if he just kept fighting, he would have maybe not cleaned up, but he would have killed a lot more units before like having to retreat his Black Riders. And I think this was just the difference between tabben coming out a little bit on top and Boss coming out a little bit on top. Like just these few seconds where he was working his cav was like really painful for him. And I agree. Like he's got a good follow with the Ulan shipment, but
the war wagons are coming though. He's got to go like right now with this huge mass, and he's got to make it work. Like he doesn't have a skirmisher lead. He can't really afford tabben to get the well-rounded composition where the Ulans won't be as effective. But he doesn't know.
Well, he might. I think he's gonna catch something. I don't know what's gonna happen, but either the Bios or some more wagons or like this is looking pretty good for Boss now. He's on, just fight. No. Oh no, what's going on? Oh, maybe attack move bug. That's so painful. Like he just did nothing and lost 1 Ulan or 2 for free. Oh, there was so much opportunity here for Boss to do something, catch units or bills, or he could have trapped the army on top, but instead he just like nothing happened, and now he's gonna try to get that TP down. But honestly, that TP doesn't even matter at this point, and yeah.
Yeah. The boss is honorable, you know, doesn't want to kill civilians. Just escort them home, make sure they get back safely.
Yeah, that's very noble, but I'm not sure it's gonna win him the game, unfortunately. I'm gonna pick up a Tomahawk, which is why not? It's not gonna change the game, but why not? And Boss is just behind in eco, and he needs to like do something. He does catch nicely a couple Ulans there. 8 Ulans coming for tabben. None of them have been able to just get Cav combat in. Boss might want to go for it next. He's got quite a lot of cav. Well, I guess
Yeah,
Tabben
he's
as well.
pretty far away from that next shipment, though.
Yeah. Yeah, here he is. Oh, one Black Rider, two Black Riders for free, maybe.
Ouch. That is
Basically, yeah.
that is not what you want. Those Black Riders are so important in this situation.
Oh, well,
There's a lot of war wagons out
what's
now.
going on? I don't know who wins this, honestly. It's really close. Well, I guess Tabben does. He's got more cav.
Yeah, he just has the more well-rounded unit composition at this point, and
yeah,
it's going well for him.
Well, still kind of close, right? I mean, it is still sort of close, but yeah, even taking an even trade is good for Tabben anyway, as he's just got the superior eco. But it was still a pretty close fight. But yeah, I think these are gonna get cleaned up. Oh, 4 more Uhlans coming in. Cav combat now is really like, come on, just get 3 more wagons or 7 skirms. I don't know. Cav combat on this.
Like if he still had those 25 Uhlans, like Cav combat's great, but in this situation you have 4 Uhlans, like it's not gonna change the world.
Yeah, and Tabben doesn't do that mistake. He knows he doesn't have enough cav to make it worthwhile shipping Cav combat, so he just goes for 7 skirms, even though it's not the greatest shipment overall. It's just what he needs now. He needs to remass, and I think when you look at the pop, you've got 106 here for Tabben and 81 for Boss, so just 25 pop difference. And that's just the lead he's got, like this 2,000 or 3,000 score lead. And yeah, so Boss needs to get a big raid or something, and he's gonna try to make it happen now. He's hoping to find some stuff on this coin mine, but Tabben kind of controls all the left part of the map, and
Tabben's gonna find the Vils on the top.
Oh
He's
yeah,
got a couple Uhlans on that mine, and that's a really important mine for Boss, and he's gonna just be forced to come back because of that.
Well, thankfully for Boss, that coin mine has just run out, but yeah. So he's gonna just go back to this one. But yeah. Just Tabben is constantly a bit ahead. And now Tabben gets Cav combat. So he's got the pressure, because he's got more skirms and just enough Cav to probably hold his ground. And Boss got Cav combat, but on only 17 Uhlans, which is not ideal. And now he's only now getting more wagons, so he's got to pull back all his bills away from that coin mine. He's got 5 bills gathering right now. It's like so much idle and walking time at this point. While Tabben's, he's just massing and getting Cav combat in. So looking very tough for Boss at the moment.
Yeah, Tabben taking the lead for sure.
And this is going to be a slow death.
Couple minutes.
Yeah, already taking the lead. But this is so annoying when they just start punching everything to death like that.
They're like, how dare you get in my way?
Yeah, like so angry. But okay, one settler wagon going down, but at this point eco doesn't really matter. Like Boss knows, okay, I need to win this fight, but these trees, like even his wheels, they're just gonna block his cab, right? So this is not ideal. And well, wagons running in, and I don't see this fight going. Oh,
yeah, there's just too much stuff here for Tabben, and all the villagers are just they're trying to fight, but yeah, it looks like Tabben's cleaning up here.
Yeah.
I mean, Boss is getting a lot of kills with but at the cost of like all of his villagers, and at the end of the day, like Tabben is still gonna have more units, especially with these reinforcements coming in.
This
and,
is
I think that's got to be the end of the game, and Tabben's gonna be tying this up.
Right. Yep. GG. So just a better start for Tabben with the 2 TPs and the age 1 TP, aging still at 17, and snowballing that start into getting 700 wood, forcing Minutemen, just getting more stuff, and And there was that one time in the game where Boss had like Black Riders and a bunch of cav, and that was really when he had to make something happen, and he could just like really, even though he was behind in XP and behind in bills, he could clean up with that shipment of Black Riders, and he wasn't able to do it, and he just fell behind eventually, and
Yeah. Well, I think he did a decent job of kind of compensating for the lack of a shipment, because he sent 1,000 wood instead of 700 wood, like just saved that shipment. That's like an extra 450 resources there is pretty good. And that definitely contributed a little bit to him being able to get the mass he needed to fight. But yeah, unfortunately, just wasn't quite enough to win that fight convincingly. And then tabben was just able to take the lead from there for the rest of the game.
Yep. Definitely, and just always a little bit ahead in military, and still like trading well enough as tabben here, and eventually just cleaning up one fight really hard in GG. And yeah, you can see just Boss being constantly behind in eco as well. And I want to see the shipment count, and then we'll head out of the game. Yeah, constantly ahead by essentially one shipment as well, which is pretty big as Germany, of course. GG. Did I update the score? Probably forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Alright, so we'll move to game number 5 in this best of 7 between tabben and Boss. Round of 8. I think this is looking to be a pretty long series. Pretty close series as well.
Yeah, very close at the moment. Definitely go either way.
So this time,
Spain versus Dutch.
Yeah, tabben had to pick first, I believe. I mean, I don't imagine he picked Dutch into Spain, so I'm assuming. I don't actually remember who had to pick first, but I think it's safe to assume that Dutch was the first pick here. And so Boss is countering with Spain on a pretty good Spain map as well. I mean, there's a lot of nice treasures. There's lots of trading posts. There's that nice choke where you can drop the tower. I mean, it's a very good Spanish map, I think. And I wouldn't like to be Dutch against Spain in this matchup on this map. I mean, I don't know what you think about this matchup, but...
Yeah, well, who was it? I think I was playing against Osmane in the last tournament, and he picked Spain here, and I counter-picked with Dutch, and it did not go very well. I think I barely won the game because I got kind of lucky, but it's not a fun matchup for Dutch for sure.
Yeah,
very hard to win, especially on this map. Like, you've only got one gold mine, and it's usually in front of your town center.
Yeah, the resources are not there's not plenty of hunts and coin here, and it's really not a fun map for Dutch. I mean, I wouldn't really pick Dutch on this map anyway, right? Even if they can't play Spain, it's not a very good Dutch
reset
map.
Right before he shot that.
Yeah, this is extra painful because I think he wants to get this to build a TP, but like he's just not able to because of the reset, so it's a bit unfortunate. I think he's being a bit shy. I mean, you know, at some point you've got the dog, you just go in, you kill the bear, and you build the TP. Because now, like, he's missing that XP that he might have had. I don't know. Maybe not. But, yeah. So he's gonna chop 5 wood for the TP.
Yeah. I guess that means he's not going to go ATP if he's going to chop for that and build one for 200 wood.
Right, yeah.
So he might just be doing like a really aggressive fast fortress then.
He's going all the way back through his base to build that TP, but... I don't... Like, what's wrong with taking this one? He's also gonna miss the XP now.
Well, I think he needs to scout that part of the map anyway. Find his resources. There's probably treasures back there, so I think it's probably okay.
Yeah, but he has to go back through his base, which is a part of the map he's already scouted, of course, so it's not ideal, I think, but yeah, well, I guess why not? Dutch is aging, 15, pretty standard. Spain is going 15 as well, so quite standard there. And yeah, like you said,
what's
he
he
doesn't
aging
go
with?
ATP, which is one of the options you have here. What did
Is he
you
just
want to
aging
say?
with the tower?
Yes. I don't know why he's mining coin, actually. Because he's gonna have too much coin.
Or maybe he forgot that he's getting 200
Yeah,
from the age up.
probably.
But yeah, so definitely going to be a fast fortress. I'm guessing because he's not going ATP, it's going to be something more aggressive. I guess the question will be like, does he skip the 5 villagers for 8 pikes and just try to ship 2 falcons and really just try to end the game super quickly? Or maybe he plays it a little bit slower, still sends the 2 falcons and just kind of slow sieges the banks.
I think with that age 1 TP, you can afford to get 5 bills and still like ship 7 rods or something after it. Or just don't ship it. But I mean, you can ship like 4 cards while aging. That's my point. Well, I mean, if you do that, you kind of need a second TP, I guess. But which he doesn't have. So yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what he does. But yeah, there's just so many options for Spain here. Like you can go ATP, you can go aggressive, you can go Spanish gold. Usually that's fine as well, and just massive billion rods. So I'm curious to see what Spain goes for. And Dutch is opening 700 wood. Nothing very surprising here.
Yep. I guess he has to be careful not to make too many banks and delay his age up or any kind of age 2 push too much. Like, you either have to age pretty early or you have to kill that tower.
Yeah,
Those are kind of your
exactly.
2 options as Dutch. Otherwise, like, the Falcons are just too hard to deal with.
Yeah, right.
Um,
Or
so
you
we'll see what he
can try to
does to
rely
send her
on
well.
CM. But if you rely on CM, you need to hope they're going aggressive.
That's true. He's building his banks behind his town center, which is probably the right thing to do. Like, you're forcing the Falcons to hit your town center, and then you can defend it a little bit more easily that way. Like, they're a little bit more susceptible to like Reuters popping out. You can shoot it with your TC all the time. But
Yeah,
his gold
maybe.
mine
Yeah.
is pretty exposed, so
Nicely picking off that explorer here. And getting that forward tower. Tabben did scout the tower though. He knows it's very forward, and he decides not to go for any kind of 8 pike shipment to nuke the tower, so just going for the age up. And that's also a build I used to do against Spain sometimes. It works if Spain is aggressive, but if they go Spanish gold, you have only 3 banks, because like it's just a 3 bank FF. Like he needs to drop a house now, and then he still has the wood for a stable. And you can age pretty early doing that. But yeah, if Spain is not going too aggressive, you sort of like hit up really fast, and then you're not able to push because it's Spain, and they just send Spanish gold and outboom you. So it's a bit of a gamble, I think.
yeah, he doesn't have a lot of food for this age up either.
Yeah, and you kind of want steel traps, I think, usually. And he already needs a house now, because surely he wants to make bills now. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit sloppy macro.
this seems a little bit slow for sure, and there's all the hunt now is in front of his base as well. It feels like this is going to be really hard to hold.
Yeah, right. And
He's not sending a shipment yet.
who do you mean?
The only boss isn't sending a shipment yet. He's just
Yeah.
saving it.
So he's going super all in, maybe. Just gonna save. So like it's a huge timing basically. You're not as fast as if you ship some units in transition. You can't like go 8 pikes and then directly to Falcons, but you will get eventually a couple extra units by saving that shipment for Fortress. So he's probably trying to like hit a huge timing with like 2 or 3 maybe shipments in H3. But that's
Yeah.
kind of like what Tabben wants, right? I mean, he's
Yeah,
got
it's
some
a
equals.
little bit slower than you want against what tabben is doing.
Yeah, right now he could have 8 extra pikes or 7 extra rods.
Spanish gold.
Without 5 bills, maybe he just forgot about that card altogether. I know when you don't play Spain very often, you can. I used to forget about 5 bills sometimes too. So
Yeah, that could be the case, or maybe like I don't know. Yeah, it feels like 5 bills would be good.
yeah,
Maybe
like
you should just send 5 bills after Spanish gold.
yeah, I know someone who's done that against me. Felt pretty good, right?
It wasn't me, I promise.
Oh yeah, of course not. All right, Minutemen being forced, getting a little bit of value and buying time, and that's probably just good enough because like, I mean, Boss is trying to greed, but he doesn't have 5 bills, so it's not gonna be a very good eco, even though he's got Spanish gold. And Tabben is just like he's got only 3 banks, but it's still 3 banks, right? He's still ahead in eco compared to Spain for the time being, and he's gonna be totally safe with his return mass.
Yeah, there's no barracks though, and like with
Yeah.
Spanish gold, like he's able to train skirmishers a little bit more easily. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a bit harder for like he's not gonna end the game as quickly, but maybe he's still gonna have a pretty strong push here. Like the resources are still exposed for Tabben. He's not gonna have skirmishers to match. It's still a bit unclear how this is gonna play out.
Yeah, definitely. And Tabben's like already expecting something super aggressive because he's not trying to like raid his routers, he's not trying to add a bank or even add a barracks, he's like relying on skirm shipments and just making routers. He's like waiting for the big drag box of like melee units and 2 falks. And in fact, it's not exactly what's going on. Because Boss is just adding a second barracks and he's gonna go for that infamous skirm rod mass that you see sometimes. It's just very annoying to play against when they bring like 40 carded rods in your face.
Yeah.
And 2 falconets behind.
Only 22 vills though. Like it can't be that easy to sustain.
Yeah.
These 2 Raxes even with Spanish gold. But there's gonna be 2 Falcons coming, and he's pushing in at kind of the right time before the barracks comes up.
And Tabben just buying back his explore to snare and tank and all these skirm routers just getting some nice shots in, and this is looking like a really good trade for Dodge. And also these rods are not upgraded yet, so and pushing
Yeah,
before
this looks
falconets
good.
as well. Just a bit weird. I think he's kind of like losing the game there. Maybe not, but I don't know. Like he's lost all his rods, right? And
Yeah.
feels just a bit awkward because he's gonna need to remake the rods, so he's gonna have less skirms, so he's not gonna be able to hold the routers as easily. And Tabben's probably just gonna ship 5 house next because it's the next best shipment he's got. Oh, he's got a fort as well, by the way. And like if he goes Haas, it's gonna be tough for Boss to have enough rods.
He does have 2 Falcons though, and 2 Falcons can swing a game for sure.
Yeah,
This RO8 is gonna be so annoying.
yeah, definitely. He's gonna lose at least 1 bill there. Oh, he doesn't notice either. And trying to
Telling you, we
push.
should have sent 5
Oh.
bills after Spanish gold.
And
Yeah,
what
that's,
yeah,
that's a lot of
it's
bills.
also picking off 2 or 3 bills there, but still not reacting. So yeah, this is painful.
Yeah, it's just not noticing.
Oh man, he's on.
NA, no.
He's on 19 bills, dude. Feels bad at 11 minutes. Dutch is on 26 and he's got 3 banks. Spain's pushing forward. Dutch going for CM. Imagine 5 Haas. There's like 8 rods, but I guess he expected. I don't know.
Yeah, this CM feels a little bit passive here. but it will help deal with the Falcons. It'll just take a while.
Tabben already being already scared of these rods and sacking like so many raiders here to escape, and
Yeah,
was-
I don't think you normally see 8 rods kill 6 Reuters for free and take 0 damage. So
yeah,
that's a nice compensation for the vills he's lost.
yeah, right, and probably the result of the pressure that is being applied in Tabben's base, so he's not really.
Yeah, and you know, suddenly, despite everything, like it kind of looks okay for Spain. Like he's got a pretty scary army now that those Reuters have been lost and the TC's taken quite a bit of damage. And wow, he's pulling back just as the CM gets called, but gets cancelled in time.
Yeah, and because of that, like he was stacking resources for CM on purpose, and now he's just got a bunch of resources, so it's gonna take some time to spend. His macro is a bit off. He doesn't have hunts anywhere. I mean, except here, but it's really far away. So he's just like got all his wheels on coin. This is maybe when you wanna go Falconets as Dutch, just because you don't have food. So.
Yeah, it looks like Boss has maybe decided, like, you know what? Why am I shooting the TC? I'm just gonna go around.
Yeah.
And just shoot at all the buildings on the back, and like he's got to be gathering resources back there and stuff. So it's gonna be awkward.
And Tabben knows about this army because he just lost a Ritter here, but he doesn't seem to realize it, and so he's still got a bunch of vills, and that's 3 vills going down in one volley there, and another one, probably 5, just 4 maybe. And the choke here is just great for Falconets as well. So yeah, he's done some damage, and I don't know, 26 views to 22, but Spanish gold is like 7 views maybe a bit less at this point because he's getting less shipments over time. Oh no, the pathing, they decided to go around. No, one of them, okay, it could have been worse, but still gonna lose
much
2.
worse.
Yeah. Still gonna lose 2 lancers for free, and like when you don't have any way to make cav, you're really like sort of relying on the 5 lancers to get the snare and stuff. Like losing half of them, like what are you gonna do now with like 3 lancers? They're just gonna die when you try to go in, so it's really unlucky for Boss there. Oh, trying to get the trap, but it's gonna be probably just a good trade for Tabben.
Yeah, just 4 rods to 1 Reuter.
Yep.
Commando?
And I don't know, this is a pretty close game, but Dutch, I mean Spain maybe wants a few more rods. Although there's so many Ritters, I guess having so many skirms is fine. He's gonna pressure again, so gonna kill a couple more wheels. Only 1 gonna, no, 2 gonna go down. It's 3 now, or 4 maybe. Yeah, 4 wheels. So you know, Dutch has only 22 wheels now, and Spain
no resources.
Spain lost like 5 wheels earlier, or even 10, but and he doesn't have 5 wheels in either, but he's still like got more wheels than Dutch. So
Oh,
big
CM being called.
Yeah, he's gonna try to force it, but I don't think Dutch can actually win this fight. He's focusing the wrong Falconet as well, so both of them are getting to low HP. They're gonna get 1 more big volley there. Not so big volley actually. Still 1 Falconet alive, gonna shoot once more. And now all the units are just getting snared by the rods, and that's what really sucks about this matchup sometimes. Just like, if you go in to kill the Falcons, he needs to
Boss
hit and
has
run.
5 Huss, he's forgetting about this whole fight.
Oh, yeah, well, honestly, doesn't seem to matter too much, but yeah, would have for sure liked to have them in the fight.
Yeah, this was great for Spain though. Like he's come out ahead on the fight, and there's no hunts or coin mine for Tabben to use very easily here.
Yeah, this is game winning. We'll see if he wins off of it, but then again, there's a Huss shipment coming in, and I don't know. I guess it's too many skirms. You can't really go in, but tabben is gonna try because he kind of has to. But I think there's just too many skirms here, and Boss is gonna be able to catch his way out of here, and looking a bit like the last effort for Dutch.
Yeah, and he's just kited back into these villagers, so
Yeah. And he's got really nothing coming at the moment. He's got no vills and food, absolutely no units on the way, and GG. Tabben's gonna call it.
wow.
That was a weird game, kind of.
Yeah, I had no idea. Like I thought tabben was in a good spot
Yeah.
in early Fortress when Boss did this no 5 Vil thing and then no aggression, but I guess like tabben didn't. I mean, like he wasn't aware of like exactly what was going on, if Spanish gold was coming or not, and he kind of like cut a lot of his boom because of it, and then sent the CM was probably a little bit too passive, and
Yeah.
Boss reacted appropriately to that, like just just avoid the TC, go fight elsewhere.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, Spain is tough to deal with as Dutch, and
Yeah.
Boss wins.
Even without 5 vills, I would like to know from Boss, like, if he intended to skip the 5 vills or if he just forgot about them altogether. I feel like with that kind of like passive build, it does like you already want 5 vills. There's no reason not to get them, but maybe he intended not to ship them. I don't know.
Yeah, it
And
definitely feels like you would prefer to have them in that situation.
yeah, but pretty close resources. Yeah, I mean, and just so much stuff at the end, and despite taking a poor trade here, just Spain gets a lot of units, basically. Alright, so 3-2 for Boss in this best of 7, and we'll move on to game 8. Wait, game 6, I mean. Alright, so this time I think it was Boss speaking first and tabben countering Otto with China. And I'm gonna need to change that again. And to hide the timeline. Alright, so what do you think about this matchup?
Ooh, China. I kind of like this matchup for China. But it can go either way. Like Otto has a lot of really strong timings that you have to be a little bit careful of with China. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say than that. I think China has a lot of options. Like they can play H2 and try to just punish like a forward base or an FF, and then like go up to Fortress themselves, or they can just FF and defend. And even if Otto goes all in, it's still winnable for China. So
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like a pretty good matchup for China to me, but it's like you can't make a mistake. Well, that's the case for a lot of seeds against Otto, I guess. And here, what do you think about the early TP as China? I guess it makes sense because you still want TP of the TP line, but at the same time on this map you would like to also get the livestock to maybe fight the Ottoman explorer with your monk. But he still gets to steal 90 food, which is huge. Would you rather go 2 villages or 3 villages or TP plus village here?
sorry, say that again.
Would you rather go for 2 villages or 3 villages or TP start here as China?
I think both are totally fine. The TP makes it a little bit harder for Otto to get the TP line, and it's a little bit better if you're planning to go for a fast fortress and stuff anyway. So But the villages, you know, it's a little bit faster. You get an extra villager. You can build the TP later, although you're a little bit slow, so Ottoman can maybe deny that sometimes. But ooh, Silk Road.
Yeah, actually skipping 3 builds. We're probably gonna ship it next. This is a build I kind of... Well, you should gather your food as soon as possible to age now, but yeah. This is a build I kind of tried to make work, but I think it's... I don't know. It's a bit awkward. So basically, you get a second TP from the wood after Silk Road has been sent. But if you do that, usually, you know, if you're gonna skip 3 builds... Oh, wow. Damn water. But if you're gonna skip 3 builds, you kind of want to ship to get a mosque plus a TP, and not like build a house, right? Because now he's got a useless house, and he has less XP, so he's gonna get no 3 builds. But anyway, he doesn't have 3 builds in deck. I'm kind of confused, and he's got this. He's just gonna boom from that, like just make fishing boats and.
Yeah, this is a build I remember Kaiser was doing a lot during the last tournament.
Oh,
And yeah, it's a little bit, it could be a little bit tricky to deal with, especially if you've never seen it before. And I don't think tabben was really playing at the time, so I kind of doubt that he's seen it before. He's just gonna see 2 TPs and expect, you know, there's gonna be Stagecoach and probably like some H2, like Gen Hus or something. But in reality, there's probably just gonna be a bunch of docks and stuff.
Right, yeah. Interesting. Then again, I don't know. Like China has a great, like middle late game. I mean, if you just boom as Otto and China just does China stuff, I'm not even sure Otto is really ahead. But we'll see, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure how this build works out in this matchup for sure.
Yeah. China is adding a village, and instead of chopping for a TP, he chops for a village. She's still gonna be able to FF. Otto has aged. He's dropping a mosque and a house, and he's already got his. Oh yeah, he timed this. But don't you want to gather your 500 food age up before you trade? Well, I guess he's got a pretty good macro. Wait, what's going on? He's not going for water boom at all. He's just replaced 700 wood by that card. And,
yeah, just Jan Avis, I guess. But I feel like this would just be better with 3 bills. Maybe.
Yeah, right. Like he's got 12 bills.
Let's see. I mean, he's got Stagecoach coming in at the same time that he's got a barracks and artillery foundry coming up, right? Normally, like you can't really do both. So in that sense, it's a little bit faster, maybe.
Yeah, maybe you hit a kind of timing at some point where you have more stuff because you just get more wood and you don't have to ship wood. You can just ship this while aging, so it's a bit faster, yeah. And then you can just focus on massing, and he still does have Silk Road working on these crates as well on the 500 food age up crates that he had. So now he's gonna be able to just ship.
Yeah, the thing that I'm wondering is, like, what does this really do against a fast fortress from China, though? Like, he's going to have 5 Abus at around, like, 6 minutes and 10 seconds or something, and they're still going to have to cross the map, and tabben will basically be H3 by that point. And then, like, it doesn't seem like there's any way he'll be able to really age with this build at the moment, so he's kind of just stuck in H2, and I mean, you can fight H2 for a while with Avis guns, but it's not where you want to be.
Yeah, it's really hard to kill China Cav in H2 as Otto overall. And I don't know. tabben even has this TP. It's gonna go down, but he's getting some passes out of it, and it's like drawing all of boss attention to the bottom of the map. He's just aging safely. He's aging with the porcelain tower as well, so going greedy, and he's gonna get away with it most likely. Gonna be able to drop his consulates, his War Academy safely, while Boss is already just sieging down his TP. So
Yeah, Tabben's not put any villagers though on that
Uh-huh.
wonder. Doesn't seem to be in any rush to get to the next stage.
he does have like
Oh, he does
4,
have more
but
vills now.
yeah,
He had only one at the when you checked. Okay.
yeah. And Otto got steel traps, but he's got 15 views, so you know it's like 2 views on food right now. It's not exactly insane. He could ship 5 bills at some point, I guess, but now that he's got Silk Road, he kind of wants to keep shipping crates.
Evet.
And now he's got sort of a small army as well, like 8 Jans, okay, 13 Jans and 10 Abas. With the reinforcements, it's not that small, but
It's far away from the base though, and Tabben is
yeah.
going to be up to the next age in a moment, and these villagers are very safe with these villages like placed next to the gold mine, and it's just hard to see like what kind of damage Otto can do here.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know about the double Minuteman pop here. I think it's... He wants to fight this, but maybe he didn't know about the reinforcements, but...
Yeah, he was just keeping the Abus hidden.
Well, he did see the Abas at first, though. Like, I know,
Okay.
I know China saw
Maybe just
them.
avoiding the town, just avoiding the town center fire, maybe.
Right, yeah, but he did come in line of sight, like, somewhere, and I don't know why... I guess China is still buying so much time with his monk in cover mode. Well, it was in cover mode, it's not anymore. And the Minutemen and TC Fire focusing A-Bus, so it's still good enough for him. I just feel like it wasn't necessary to call the Minutemen now, and but still, you know, like, regardless, what does Otto do now? Like, he's gonna have to pull back and maybe age? I don't know.
Yeah,
He's trying to age.
it looks like he is. It looks like he is aging, and he's a lot closer to aging than I really expected him to be. But with 10 skirmishers and the 5-meter hammers is already in queue for Tabben. Potentially like a batch from the War Academy going to be coming soon. It feels like Tabben could have a pretty good timing here, but of course, like if you're Tabben in this situation, do you really expect like the only boss to be aging that quickly behind this?
Well, when you see he didn't have that many units, and you're like,
Right, but at the end of the fight, like you saw 5 more Abus and 5 more Jans walk in.
yeah, that's true. I just feel like you don't care because as China, I think after you saw these few units, even if he's H2, I think you feel comfortable going out a little bit. It's not like he, well, unless he gets 8 Haas. Now he could get cleaned up by 8 Haas, but that's the only threat basically. So Taban is gonna push. Like, I don't know if he knows that Otto is aging or if he just feels comfortable pushing regardless, but he's gonna start sieging that TP, and that's gonna be a big problem for Otto. All the more a problem because he's got Silk Road, and he kind of relies on these 3 TPs. And yeah, I don't know what he does when he doesn't have a TP line anymore. Also, he already needs his TPs on wood now because he's gonna need to upgrade his Giants and A-Bus.
Yeah, and he needs more houses as well.
Yeah. Like, you kind of need TPs on the wood and to also chop with like a few wheels at this point. And is he slow aging as well?
Yeah, it looks like.
Oh, maybe the
he's
gully. Yeah. So that's why he's not chopping, because or setting TPs
Yeah.
to. He's gonna get like
400 wood,
500 with Silver Road, something like that. So
Emrin.
okay. And China is just content to take down 1 TP, probably waiting for another shipment now, and then he's gonna push more TPs, I guess. Well, he's already pushing anyway. More Cav coming as well. And so Boss is up. He's got 500 wood.
He's got
But
2 shipments as well.
yeah, but he can't really use his Silk Road. Like, it would be nice to ship 1,000 coin now, but he feels like it's too slow, maybe. He's actually waiting for something now, and he cancelled his shipment.
Spahi?
Ah, interesting, yeah. That could be scary for China, actually, if he doesn't get more anti-cap. He does have the red coats now.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like China should have the better army here. Like, yet Boss hasn't been able to train units in a long time. He needs a lot more houses. It's hard to see how he's going to afford these veteran upgrades.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I mean, Spahi can definitely swing a fight if you're not careful. So, and that is a decent number of Abus actually.
Is he just
Maybe he just goes Spahi
Mans?
1,000 coin Mams.
Yeah. He's
I
kind
mean,
of a long way.
if Tabben doesn't push in the next like minute and a half or 2 minutes, maybe it works out.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's also losing the entire TP line when Tabin is not pushing. So I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be scary if he gets buffed Mams and Spahis for timing. But meanwhile, the China army is just growing just faster, right? I mean, he's got more eco and he's just massing more units. And yeah, the cap switch is scary, but if it doesn't work, it's just GG, I think, because China is getting so far ahead now. And you can see it in the scores as well. He's even getting double-faced armor, interestingly. He's got so much gap.
Yeah, I mean, double-faced armor is a good card, but there is one downside to that card in this matchup as well, where Apis guns don't care that you get an extra 11% armor or whatever it is.
Yeah, and also, yeah, that's very true. And also, you don't really expect Otto to have, like, cavalchers. And, like, usually the main reason why you go for that card is to tank the gun's shot, I feel like. Of
Yeah, and
course, you
like
can also...
the only
Yeah,
range damage you're going to take is the Jans, and they're probably just going to go melee mode.
right. They're just gonna go melee. So yeah, feels like a bit of a weird card to send. I mean, he still had Chengdao's, Manchu's stuff. So yeah. But anyway, that's out of Cav, and it still gets the HP upgrade, and it will tank a bit better against the Jans. And meanwhile, we do see Boss going for the Mams. So he's already all in on that cap switch now. He's really like trying to catch Tabin off guard and just like win the game that way. But that sort of stuff. So and Boss has like 17 Jans, which is not a ton.
He does
And
have Mamelukes on the way though, and Mamelukes
yeah,
Spahi combined, I think that's pretty scary. Like Tabin has a great army, but it just takes so long to kill all of those units that like the Avis guns might be able to just do work in the back.
yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like the unit composition it's still nice for China just because he's got mostly cav
Hmm.
and Otto mostly doesn't have anti-cav. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
yeah, it's gonna be a close fight. But what we know is that Boss really needs to win it because he's so far behind. Like he really needs to win this fight now, and so he's got a batch of Jans and the Mams coming, and it's gonna be go time for him. And that's when he tries to force a fight with Jans and melee. Pretty good positioning for Otto actually. All the Jans
Yeah,
connecting to the
really
cab,
good.
and the Abus shooting at all the anti-cab just walking, and somehow I don't know. I think China just wins anyway, but
I
uh,
don't know. Like all the Mamelukes are still alive. Like there's still well one Spahi
yeah,
now, but
Mams alone though just don't do much, and I think China
yeah,
is just smashing this at the end of the day, and
yeah. It looks like it's going well for him now.
but honestly, I don't think it could have gone any better for Otto. Like, it was really the best positioning he could get, and it still wasn't quite enough. And China is sitting on 3 TP Stagecoach behind and has like 17 more views and the Porcelain Tower. It's just GG.
And Boss is on max vills and can't afford to get the mosque upgrades.
Yeah.
At this point.
It's going to be able to hold for now. China definitely has to pull back, but like Otto is on a timer, so
yeah, and I mean that's most of Otto's power spikes, right? Like what else do they really have going for them? 2 Falx maybe. Other than that, like they've got Abus that they don't really have enough of, and his gold mine I think just ran out. So yeah, looking very good for Tabben. Game 7 series.
I think we are going to see that. Yeah.
I can't complain about getting a 7-game best of 7.
Yeah, it was a really close series. I mean, it still is a really close series. But yeah, I think actually Otto might be fine here, but I don't know. Well, I guess the unit composition is pretty good for China. He can completely keep microing away like that with his cav, and the Jan count is just melting, and there's quite a lot of skirms as well, so they're just like doing well.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like the Abus are doing pretty well here.
I think
still tough with this 26 vil eco for Otto though.
Yeah, and the Avas will get caught. They might be able to clean up if he micros and split fire as well, but yeah, he's just going the GG. Wow. So 3-3 match point.
Yeah, very very close series.
Indeed. I'm gonna need to take a very quick break because I might like need to buy food before it's. I just need to think about something. I'll be right back in a minute.
Yeah, I need to get some water too. Anyway,
All right.
So we'll be right back.
I'm back. I don't know if Mitoe is here, or he's probably still getting some water. So that's gonna be the game 7 in the best of 7. Very very close series. Again, pretty impressed by how well Boss plays overall. I think he was really considered the underdog in this match by most people, but he's really showing that well, if he doesn't win, would have still. I mean, even if he loses, it's still such a close series. It's really an honorable loss, even if he loses. So I guess I'll start just playing this, and Mitoe will catch up. All right. Anyway, so in this last game, let's think. Boss won game 1, right? So he picked first in game 2. So in game 7, it should be tabben picking first. And so Boss is counter picking. tabben still has France, which is a pretty good first pick. And Boss decides to counter pick it with Germany. Why not? This is a good German map. You've got a rather safe TP, 2 coin mines and base, even though they are only 1,500 coin, it's still a decent amount of coin. And lots of raids usually on this map. It's rather open overall, and there's this part of the map is pretty hard to defend against raids, so it's pretty good for Germany.
Yeah, interesting matchup. I'm back, by the way.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's I like this matchup. I like to cast and watch this matchup. It's just the classic, the good old EP matchup, like the one we saw 100 times. But we don't see it so much anymore, and it's nice to see it now.
Yeah, I think this matchup is a lot closer than a lot of people think as well. Like, it's definitely easier to play as Germany, but France has a lot of options to do a lot of damage and win the game. So should be a good game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I do think it's a pretty close matchup, and I don't know, man. So tabben's going for market plus TP, which is pretty good. He probably got some sort of coin treasures and stuff to help him. Maybe also wood treasure. I didn't quite see, but unfortunately, he didn't take this 50 wood, which is kind of huge.
Yeah, I was gonna say that seems like kind of an important treasure if you're gonna do do TP plus market. He already has hunting dogs, right?
Yeah. So he's still getting away with it. I think he will go for an idle-less 14 age up pretty much. And he doesn't idle now either, so it's all good, But you gotta be sad about not taking the treasure. I would say it's more than important. It's actually like a key treasure. It's almost like you spawn with this in your base. You're like, okay, I might be able to go for market and TP. Like it could be the key treasure to do it, and he just ignored it. And even gives you like a nice, what is it, 26 XP now from crackshotting the bear, which is also quite nice. And but yeah, he's still gonna get a nice age 1, while Germany pretty much has a standard market 17 age up.
Mm-hmm. I guess the question is, like, as tabben, what do you do with the extra resources you're going to get in transition now?
Well,
does he just build more trading posts, or does he try to do something aggressive?
Yeah, we'll see what he does, but something I like to do in this matchup, if I get away with this, is opening with barracks and stable and shipping 4 CDBs like you used to do sometimes. Because you will get your 700 wood very quickly afterwards because of the early TP. And with the extra resources, you can actually chop more wood for your infrastructure. And now, France gets this. Boss should really get the fuck out of here. Well, he's high HP, so he might be able to get a TP up, but it's a bit tough.
Yeah, I mean, tabben definitely has an opportunity to try to deny it, especially since he could even try to steal the TP.
Yeah, that's also an option. It's true. You can also just steal that TP, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like, though, he's not going to do that, and looks like Boss will probably be able to get that up.
Yeah, he's going to be pretty pleased to get this up after almost.
Yeah, it looks like tabben's just positioning all his units to like maybe scout for like a tower rush or something.
Yeah,
he's covering all the points where a settler wagon might want to get out, but
yeah,
it doesn't look like Boss is interested in going for a tower rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a peculiar thing to expect in this matchup. I don't think Tower Rush is very good against France. I mean, you can also just scout his base, right? You don't have to, like, split everywhere. You can just see, okay, he's gathering coin. Like, you will see it soon, switching to the coin mine now. So now he confirms that it's not a Toro Rush, I think. Well, anyway, he knows about the trading post, so... what is tabben doing then? Probably just gonna drop a stable in base. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Very standard.
Keeping it standard.
Yeah. Yeah, but I guess Germany is also gonna do that, and I mean, it's not that you can't just go stable against Germany as France, but you know, when you have the opportunity to do better than that, like getting a barracks directly upon H2 and a stable together, it's nice. You can also just go cav, but you know, it's always a bit hard against 7, 9 Ulans or 14 Ulans or whatever. Like, you're usually a bit behind in the cav count, so... And tabben's getting 700 wood, which is a very standard follow-up. He's gonna get easily 5 horse, obviously, as he had already his market NTP in transition.
Yeah, so I guess he's just going to just make some hussars and then get up to the fortress stage. I mean, he definitely has the option. He definitely has the option to drop a Rax or 2 Raxes on the 700 wood and try to do some kind of H2 push, which could also be good, but yeah, hard to say if he's going to do that at the moment.
Yeah. The native scout is gonna spot all the Orlands here. Very nice for tabben here. Still hasn't picked up that wood treasure, which I'm kind of upset about it, but I have to accept it, I guess. And oh, no one really wants to fight this, I guess. Like, tabben wants to fight only if he can get a good Minuteman pop, which is not easy against Cav.
Yeah, this position's actually kind of tough for tabben though. Look at his hunts. He's gonna get another batch of Huss to defend, but like aging with the 700 coin is not gonna be easy at the moment.
Oh, but
this looks like really good for tabben with the 4 Huss coming in.
well, yeah, Boss is just like aging and fighting at the same time. Like, he decided not to stay H2 any longer, but he's still doing fine, right?
Yeah. Yeah, coming out just fine at the end of that.
Yeah, not sure what happened there.
And
Maybe
now,
just yeah.
How do you protect your hunt if Boss just walks right up to it?
Yeah, I mean,
like he's maybe not aware of where the hunts are.
yeah,
Probably hasn't been able to really scout the base.
Like, tabben is okay because there's only 3 Olans there, but he doesn't know that there aren't more coming, so he's gonna have to make like Haas to defend, and losing 1 and 2 CDBs and 3 Haas popping, and Boss is gonna pull back, and he's just so far ahead. I mean, he's gonna be up, and then what do you do as tabben here? Yeah, I mean, you know, he's got like so much pop space. He doesn't have even a barracks up. He could have had like 5 pikes a long time ago. Like, all sorts of things that tabben could have got, and he just like made cav and deleted all his cav, and now
Yeah,
I think he's
I mean,
just lost.
It looked like a good situation, like getting the snare on those cav when you got the reinforcements coming, but I guess like those first 5 Huss just took too much damage.
Yeah.
Before the reinforcements could arrive, and yeah, it's put him in a tough spot where Boss actually gets the next age first, and that's never a situation you want to be in with France. Like with France, you want to be ahead on the age up for sure.
Yeah, unless you like hit some sort of H2 timing. Like, if you do some damage in H2, it's okay to age later, but like, he's taken damage and he's aging later, so he's just very far behind. And then he's still gonna need to like secure hunts, because like this hunt is almost entirely dead, quite far away from the TC. Oh, and there's like a billion coin on the floor as well. Uh,
Yeah, well, I mean, that'll be useful later. Just I could have a hard time spending that before he gets to the next age. And all these Hussars, no.
what tabben, man? Like kind of falling apart in this game 7. Looks like.
Yeah, it's not looking good now. He's making this batch of Hussars, even though it's not what you want to do because he needs
Yeah.
something to defend these hunts.
Oh, he's actually gonna
It's
stay
actually
H2, but he's got the resources to
okay.
age.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess it's worth the try at this point. If you age, you're never gonna win, right? You have to try
yeah,
something.
I mean, like aging just takes too long here, probably. And like Tabben has to, or a boss has to expect that he's aging at this point. Like maybe he can get lucky and just like trap him here, like he bait him under the Braxes, pop the 10 muskets. Yeah, he's not gonna go in, but yeah, I mean, he's got a lot of resources here. If he just gets a lot of Musk Huss and maybe gets a trap, he can still win. But yeah, it's tough, and boss isn't really. He's not really.
Taking the bait here. I mean, he's
Yeah, he's
waiting
not
for war
pushing.
wagons and stuff. Looks like.
Yeah, he's playing it safe. Like he hasn't confirmed what Tabit is up to. He's up 4,000 score. Like he's not in any hurry. If Tabit ages, then he'll push. But like for now, like just get the units out. Wait for Tabin to make a move.
Yeah. I would have like 3 Huss instead of 8 bows, I think. 'Cause, like, if you're gonna do that play and hope to crush a fight
Yeah.
against Germany as H2, you already need lots of cav.
Yeah.
Also would mean he could start pushing a little bit earlier because the 3 Huss would just follow. Because now he's moving out, but the bows are gonna be behind, which is very questionable, I think. But yeah,
Yeah, I
HP
think
could have been
he's
enough.
just
Yeah,
he's just unsure like what to do at this point. Like
yeah.
what is boss doing? Why is he not pushing? Like I can't just stay in H2 for nothing. So
Yeah. Cabbage
he
would have
has
been
to.
great, actually. But yeah, it looks like he's a bit confused and not sure what to do, and now he's sort of
That
stuck in
Ulan
this plan, and
that Ulan scout was really good. He saw everything.
he saw the bows as well, right? Probably.
Yeah, I believe he walked past the big Musk Huss army as well, right?
Oh, did it? Maybe. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but I think he saw the 10 Huss and a few muskets, so I think he's fully aware of what's going on at this point.
Yeah, and man, he's gonna push right when Germany gets 8 war wagons, and I don't know, man. Like, there's gonna be Minutemen, Vet Ulans, 8 war wagons, a big skirm mass, and we'll see. Well, I mean, this is a pretty good position for Tabben so far. He's got all his Huss jammed in.
Not a lot of anti-cav here for the only boss.
Yeah, but 5 more war wagons popping just in time, and the Vet Ulans are very strong, so it's looking very tough for Tabben to win this. It's as good of a fight as he could have gotten there. Although, again, if he had cav HP, he could have been a bit better. And the positioning is still pretty good here. All the Huss and the skirms and war wagons just on the wrong side. Minutemen being popped in the back. And so, it's a bit better than it should have been, I think, for France. But at the end of the day,
the units are just too strong.
Yeah.
And Germany is getting all this XP from this fight. He's on a shipment and a half right now, so he'll be able to send something and then send something else shortly after. And yeah, at that point, it's hard to come back from that with France. But Tabben's gonna have to find a way to try something. Like, this is the final game. He can't just give up and go on to the next one.
Yeah.
It looks like he's decided, like, CDBs are useless. Just make more units.
Yeah, at this point he just wants units, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take each CDB is going to take a couple minutes to pay off, and every second matters at this point. Your only chance of winning is completely crushing a fight, and every unit matters, so...
Yeah, I think his boss knows, like, he's killed a few CDBs early on, now he's gotten a good trade, he's H3. So if I'm boss, I'm like, dude, I don't need to push or anything, I'm just gonna keep massing. Even if France actually manages to age up, you Yeah, just
This
raid.
raid is going to be painful on the north.
Yep. Yeah, vet Ulans are pretty good against CDBs for sure. And he's
This
gonna
is why
try
you
to
should get
fight.
blunderbuss.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Jesus
CDB is
Christ.
still. Oh no.
Yeah, I think it's just GG. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this is even gonna block the cav as well, and he's got just so many war wagons and everything.
yeah. The army is just better. The CDBs are falling. The eco is better, and yeah, that's just GG for tabben and the only boss advancing to the semifinals. I don't
Yeah.
think he had been in a round of 8 in a major tournament before, and now he's in the semifinals. So really solid games from him. Really impressed by the way he played.
Yeah, really, I didn't expect that, but well played. Yeah, semifinals, damn. So he's gonna be up against Knush, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah,
impressive.
that's not going to be an easy series, but I mean, I don't think any of his series this tournament. I don't think you could have said they were easy series for him going into this.
No.
So
Well, to be
we'll see.
fair, we have to say that he did he's on this he took has a spot essentially. So he beat lots of really good players and it's really impressive. But to be fair, like he didn't have to play against Hazard, right? Because that Hazard would have been on this quarter of the brackets. So maybe the toughest opponent he could have had decided to forfeit, you know. But regardless, like he's beaten Prince and Ace and no tabben, so it's really good performance from Boss here, and I'm excited to see him against Knush next.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, I think this series I was especially impressed just by I think his unit control seemed pretty good, and also he often made the right decision in a lot of situations where I feel a lot of people would be uncertain of what to do and maybe they'd panic and just push or lose everything under the town center. But I think Boss played this really smartly overall, so well deserved win from him.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, and also uh, Tabben probably has more tournament experience as well, like of these long best of sevens and stuff like that, where you kind of start running out of sieves but Boss played it well until the end, right? He didn't fall apart at some point in the series or anything. Just kept playing really well, and yeah, well done by him.